past the setting sun. Someday I'll be overcast, but you won't have to cry, 'cause we'll do the grieving while I'm by your side. I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling, don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. And I'm so scared of getting used to this. All the vines that keep you tethered in your room. Well, someday both of us are leaving here, but for now I'll just bring this seed to you. Will you meet me in the daylight like we did before? Then I felt you on my shoulder and you weren't suffering anymore. You said, I'm sorry that you worry, but don't apologize. I told you to forget me, but you stayed by my side when I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling, don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, and when we're gone, everything goes on. Is that all you've got to say? Just this is not another day, not one that you wanna play. Step by step by step, death walks through your grave. Is that all you've got to say? Just this is not another day, not one that you wanna play. Step by step by step, death walks through your grave. There's no one left you can play. Unruly falling away. Step by step by step, death walks through your grave.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Aegis Protector League Finals. I am Elsa the Queen, and I am joined here by Orion, and we are excited tonight to have Dorado Gaming Psy. They are going to be taking on Conduit Esports Phoenix in what will be the finale of this league. So we are, of course, hyped up for that. But before we even get into that matchup, Orion, we've got other excitement coming down the Aegis APL pipeline here, as we're excited to announce the winners of the APL Winter All-Stars for 2024. So yeah, I mean, with that, Orion, I guess I'll just read off the top names here, because of course we got the graphic for that. So we got for the top lane, we got Stubby, who in the first team, who is of course then followed up by Gabriel Leo and Walk Warlock as the finishing out the top laners. In the jungle, we got Nasian from Conduit Esports Phoenix winning winning the top jungler, followed up by Just Cooper from Dorado Gaming Sci, and then Batman from SG Inferno. And so far from those first two, Orion, definitely hearing a lot of names from both these teams. So I guess that's not a surprise. But, you know, also for mid lane, Efron from Dorado Gaming Sci winning it out, and OTF27 from Conduit Esports. Second place, Soxathize from Big Doc Entourage, third. And then bottom lane, we had 2-5 from Dorado Gaming Sci, taking home the top bot lane honors. Second, going to Domination 2340 of Conduit Esports Phoenix. And then Grim Daffer from Literal Monkeys Gold getting the rounding out in third. Then finally for support, Conduit Esports Phoenix support Not So Dark took home the top spot. Sunrise Dorado Gaming Sci, the second. And then we had Ghost from Big Duck Entourage third. So that is me, just in case you are, for all our illiterate members of the Discord and, you know, Aegis, I read it out for you there, and thank you so much for PBS for that amazing graphic. I hope that wasn't too spicy. I was being totally legitimate. And oh, and also the wrong person is on the graphic, notably. That's what happens when, you know, you're working two jobs, producer and, you know, graphic designer. We're really simulating Riot here, guys. That's really what's happening. Or, you know, everyone. But anyways, with that, we should probably get into the draft, because it's the final matchup of the APL. And you know, we were getting into it hot here with already the first pick coming through from Dorado Gaming side. They're going to pick up that Aatrox for the top lane blind. Feeling good about that one for their top laner. He's looking to Gabriel Leo, I'm assuming, is in trying to prove that actually they are the top laner, I guess, Orion, instead of Stubby. But Conduit Esports Phoenix already knows what they want to respond with here.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams have the #1 and #2 All-Stars for the entire league, which kind of makes sense. Both these teams kind of dominated the regular season. Dorado Gaming side being 7-0, Conduit Esports Phoenix being 6-1, obviously only dropping that one match to Dorado, which was a 2-for-1. It was actually a relatively really close series, so hoping for a little bit of a repeat of that. Obviously, on their end, they'd like to pick up the victory this time around, but liking to keep it close relative, because so far, like, obviously, for the playoffs so far, Dorado Gaming side 3-0'd their opponent, and Conduit Esports Phoenix also 3-0'd their opponent to get to the finals. So both these teams, I feel like the expected result, I would say, coming into it, in terms of both these teams meeting in the finals, deciding who is the best team in the APL. And like Elsa said, we're already starting with the draft a little bit here. We've got Aatrox and Ivern already locked in here for Dorado Gaming side, and for Conduit Esports Phoenix, we've got Viego and Aphelios. You know, obviously with 14.6 happening, with Infinity Edge being buffed, crit 80 carries are kind of the mainstay nowadays. That's why you're seeing Jinx being banned, Zeri being picked, Aphelios being picked as well. These champions are kind of taking over the meta in the bottom side of the map, becoming a lot more front to back in terms of less about the other 80 carries that were taken over the lethality versions that happened at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that is definitely a good synopsis of the way that we have seen the meta shift. Those late game carries, especially, you know, waiting to get to that Infinity Edge, you know, second and third items for those 80 carries becoming the meta. And, you know, with Ivern on the one side and now Milio on the other, that definitely goes to support that. But, you know, one thing to point out for me in the first half of this draft, Orion, is that Conduit Esports Phoenix, they knew that I mean, we would assume that Aatrox is a blind pick top, but they feel comfortable, I guess, potentially eating some bans towards that, you know, and or they really want to prioritize other parts of the map, it seems like, because they did not pick their top laner yet, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just wanted to make sure they got a really strong bot matchup with the Aphelios and the Milio, and then they might be able to potentially ban away some supports as well. But instead, wanting to ban away one of Efron's mid laners here with the Syndra pick, And yeah, I think for Stubby in particular, he has a lot of options. He just into Aatrox in particular, the champ is known for dominating most lanes. So even if you do pick something that you do like into the matchup, he's most likely going to win it. Especially if you're going to pick a tankier top side of the map. Aatrox is known for being a tank, just killer outright. He lanes incredibly well into those tanks. So, and I imagine since you have a champion like Aphelios, you have a champion like Milio, you're gonna want to have a champion on your team that's particularly good at face checking in the bushes, and that typically revolves around the top lane or the jungler. And with Viego being already locked in, I would imagine they would look for something a little bit tankier on the top side of the map, just to kind of give them that a little bit of a better frontline option that they don't currently have at this current time. As we do see Blitzcrank being banned away by Conduit Esports Phoenix, and going with the two kind of assassin-oriented champions and the Kali and Yone champions already being banned away. And I've seen Stubby play like some Gnar in some previous performances. That champion can also do it fairly well, or even just the Ornn, like I said, an outright tank that even though it's like you can pick it a little bit later in the draft, don't give away so much, and even though it's like with the Aatrox, you know the Ornn is probably going to lose that lane, but he will do his best to kind of stunt the winning that Aatrox was doing into the later parts of the game, and hopefully be a little bit more useful in those team fights later to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen enough, especially at this Elo Ornns, who know what they're doing, you know, just clap even matchups that they should be losing in. So, you know, not the expected outcome, but, you know, expect the unexpected at times with Ornn. He does have that, you know, always have the true damage on the W. And like you said, Orion, even if he does lose, he's going to be scaling with that ultimate and will be able to get the ornaments out later on. But finishing out the draft here from Dorado Gaming, side, they are going to feel comfortable picking up this Nautilus. It's kind of, I mean, I feel like the Milio is, I mean, I feel like we've talked about this before. You know, there are some ways that the Milio can slightly counter the Nautilus, but overall, I feel like really you pick Nautilus here because you know there's not very much pressure in the lane. And speaking of not very much pressure in the lane phase, Veigar means that Dorado going to be going full on scaling here in game number 1.
Yeah, it's definitely full on scaling. It's also full on scaling with very short range.
Yeah, it's true.
Fairly short range, fairly short range. So I'm a little curious to see exactly kind of how their composition is going to play out, especially if, you know, Conduit Esports Phoenix, because that's like a mid-range to a long-range mage in the mid lane. We'll have to wait and see. It is going to be that Azir. Oh, okay. Hwei also fits the mid to long range abilities. So it's going to be. I feel like driving aside, might actually have a little bit of a hard time entering some of these team fights, especially if you're engaged as like going into an Ornn or even to a Milio ultimate, like things like that, where they're able just to kind of kite back and buy space. They might actually be able to position in a way where they won't just get immediately blown up by a Veigar cage or by like even like Seri potentially hitting somebody. But I think the chain CC for Dorado Gaming size composition is really, really good. You've got Nautilus Q into Ivern, into Veigar cage, into Aatrox knockups. You can continuously keep that one person knocked out for forever. And hope that you can just initially just like outright chain that person and kill them. So I do like that coming through the Dorado Gaming side, but if they're not able just to blow up that one person and Aphelios' range with Infernum, or even like with Milio buffing him up plus Hwei's range, I feel like they might have a harder time in just straight up front to back team fights.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, I think that you know, I see so much ability for this Conduit Esports Phoenix composition to kite back later in the game, but you know, so that could be a challenge. You know, on the other hand, they will have to themselves be able to at some point, you know, get into the enemy team's backline to get this area. But I feel like the Aatrox is going to need to be able to find some kind of flanks to start off these fights if Dorado Gaming, you know, wants to be successful. Because if you're Conduit Esports Phoenix, you always just kind of have that go button with the Ornn, but not going to be the case on the other side. But, you know, I mean, I think as you had described, Orion, at the beginning when talking about the meta shift, you know, especially I would say actually especially Conduit Esports Phoenix team composition harkens to that with that tank top laner, you know, also that mid, you know, I think both of them are scaling mid laners, but Hwei maybe a little bit better with that kite back. So definitely it seems like they're at least trying to play this new meta, and we will see how it ends up turning out. I feel like Dorado Gaming and carry top lane players in the top lane are like peanut butter and jelly. Has there ever been a Dorado team that doesn't have an Aatrox main top laner?
That's a pretty good question. I think it's definitely known for being like I'd say carry oriented, like very aggressive in the bruiser category. I would say Dorado isn't necessarily known for having just like laid back, don't do anything top laner scale for late. That's kind of like the most teams tend to rely on that, I guess. Where they're like, hey, we'll pick our tank on top, so a tanky top laner, let him survive, let him do his thing. He'll get back into the game eventually, and he'll be a great team fighter. Dorado is typically known, especially like whenever I play with him, my top laner was either 1v9 or sometimes the reason why we lost. So that guy was like absolutely crazy at the game. So I love playing with that guy. But overall, that's kind of like the way that Dorado goes in terms of, I guess, like kind of how they like to operate. But we do have, I guess, some stats overall for like the entire these teams operated a little bit. And in terms of, obviously, for both these teams in particular, these teams like to play fairly hectic games. They like to get a lot of kills going forward for both these teams. Dorado Gaming obviously operated on 28 kills a game, and Conduit Phoenix operated on 25 kills a game. And their average game length time was combined together was about 30 minutes. Obviously, Dorado Gaming being at the 28-minute marker. So both these teams, in terms of game time, obviously right around that 30-minute marker, and getting close to 30 kills, which is going to be a kill a minute. So, and these teams are both, in terms of drafting wise, are a little bit slower. They're like a little bit slower pace in terms of scaling up, getting those items, playing those front to back team fights. But I can't imagine that's going to be stopping either of these teams looking for those early aggressive plays, because if either team gets ahead of the other and they're able to scale into the late game that much better, it's going to become that much easier for either team to pick up this game one victory. And anytime you play a best of 5, especially in the finals in particular, you want to get a good start. You want to jump yourself into a position where you're able to pick up that game one victory and kind of just carry that momentum. And if you're able to win, if you're able to win your side every game after, you will eventually win the series.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like especially when it's one of these games that could potentially end up dragging out and be, very sort of even for a lot of the game, that can just get especially demoralizing if you do not come away with the victory in the first game. But we will shortly head on to Summoner's Rift to find out who will take the victory in that first game. But before we do so, I would be remiss to not shout out one of our sponsors. And I will start tonight with Coachify GG. And I will say, usually I say it at the end, but remember that supporting our sponsor supports us. So if for no other reason than you think Aegis is good, I really encourage you to click the banner below the stream. That pumps up those numbers, and it makes sure that Coachify is getting what they came for as far as that exposure. And maybe you'll check out Coachify, and it will provide you the tools to to manage your teams and players while also finding new students and making more money. So you never know. But either way, you know that you're supporting us. So make sure that you click on the panel, and I think the other thing I wanted to mention is definitely click on that panel below the stream, and we will see you when we are back from the spectator delay.
right to break their spine and reclaim what once was mine. Those cravens backstabbed me, deceived me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Oh, 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end, there's way more to avenge. Oh, 15 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
chasing whispers before they all just fade. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? I will find a this porcelain mirage may start to break. Each piece a reminder, every single little mistake. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? Tell me why it won't ever be the same. I'll burn it all, no matter who's to blame. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And every time I close my eyes, a little less of you remains. I know you're slipping further from me now. Am I too far away? Tell me why I won't ever feel the same.
Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As I dive in, blood stains washing underneath the waves. I'll be reaching out to keep you safe.
spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? This storm inside me. You're the rain on my happy days. Dark cloud, you're the storm in the rain. In a intoxicated sun, if the sunshine let me know. All my thoughts move in the darkness of pouring downpour of a stone. My soul is. Should I pretend like we're just dancing in the sunlight? And I'm done waiting every day until I realize you're the rain on my happy days. Dark cloud, you're the storm in the rain.
Hello, one and all. And after a long, worthwhile wait, surely, we are back. And hopefully you are back with us here on the Summoner's Rift for the finals of the APL. It is just game number 1. So if you're just tuning in, don't worry at all, because the action is just getting started. And speaking of action, we do have an invade here from Dorado Gaming right away. Not sure if that was spotted out yet, but I don't think so. Domination gonna pop the ghost, Orion. So, hey, they're gonna get something out of it for free here.
Yeah, I mean, playing it safe. I respect it. You know, it's game 1 of playoffs.
For sure.
Game 1 of playoffs. Game 1 of finals, I would say. I mean, both teams able to get a little bit of information here. As you can see, wards going down on the blue buff for both sides. And other than the initial ghost, which I mean, ghost is just a 3-minute cooldown, so it's kind of whatever. But it does look like Cooper and Efron trying to get a little bit more information. Obviously, Ivern is one of the best champs in the game at just taking someone's buff off the rip, because he doesn't have to just sit there and take it. All he's got to do is sit there and suck up the energy and just immediately smite it. But instead wants to kind of play more towards his camps, and we're going to have opposite jungler starts here. As we do see Najin starting on his blue buff, as we see Ivern doing his initial wolves up to the blue buff, so that will be spotted out. They will know that he did do the wolves first, and most likely will be pathing back down towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I'm interested to see a little bit how this Viego plays the game out. You know, I'm a big Viego fan personally, and you know, we know a lot of the times he does scale really well, so could just look to farm this one out early. There will be really good jungle knowledge here on the side of Dorado, but I feel like they'll probably just use that for the most part to, you know, be able to push up these lanes and feel safe. I mean, Ivern, like you said, definitely likes to cause a little bit of trouble early on, so it will be interesting to see where Just Cooper wants to go. I mean, because he should have quite a bit of lane priority, at least in these side lanes here, it looks like for now. Pretty good push, so we'll see what he wants to do with it, as we see the Aatrox trying to, you know, do what he does here in this top lane, and we'll track Gabriel Leo. I mean, they invested their first pick into this Aatrox, remember, so theoretically you want to get a lot out of it. I mean, if you win, you know, winning kind of solves everything, I suppose, but if you lose, you better have gotten a lot out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's one of the things, like, obviously, I mean, we kind of expected towards the later parts of the draft, a tankier option was going to come through, so Aatrox should be perfectly fine up here by himself. Just kind of maintaining the push up here. Obviously, if Viego were to make a trip up here, it would be more or less for himself, less for the Ornn. Typically, when you see a matchup like this, the trade of thought is usually, okay, leave the tank alone. He'll kind of just like lose in isolation, it'll be all right. But oftentimes, when you have a champion like Ornn who's great at setting up ganks for his jungler, and even like a jungler like Viego, who can be very aggressive in ganks, he can look to be aggressive. If you see Dabs looking for official trade as well, flashing forward onto Darker as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Gabriel Leo was able to navigate out to safety after using that flash. No flash utilized from the Ornn or the Viego, so could have a potential repeat gank here. And I mean, you could see even early there, Aatrox getting the push, but Ornn certainly holding his own in those trades. Again, you know, just taking advantage of his W. Also, that grasp of the Undying, you could see there, you know, pretty much going even though he got interrupted trying to use his passive goodbye. But here's Viego already here for the counter gank. Will Gabriel Leo be able to dodge out on this? Stun gonna come through, and it's gonna be a first blood. The assist does go over to Dabs as well, and that's gonna be nice for Nation, or Nation, however you want to say it, into their pocket early on here.
This is interesting. Aatrox has TP'd into the top lane, and Viego's still here.
He's gonna finish it.
He does end up choosing the base. I mean, I guess most likely. I think if Dabs wanted to just like base immediately off the rip and TP back with the Aatrox, they could have initially just like fought him here.
I mean, yeah, even getting this buy off, I mean, it's gonna get him a little bit of health HP back, but yeah, for now was not taken advantage of. Instead, Viego does opt to just grab that Noon Quiver first back, which is going to feel really good for him, even just being able to clear the jungle and potentially heading up towards this dragon, although the scuttle is going to be spotted out there. So he is not going to do anything there at this time, I suppose. And I mean, we talked about it in the draft, Orion, but that was a long time ago. And both the mid lane and the bot lane, I mean, you got to imagine that they're going to be pretty happy to just farm things out. Although I will be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Hui's scaling. I'm not sure. How does I don't know.
It's pretty good.
Right. Yeah, that's what I kind of assumed.
Yeah, he obviously he's pretty much like this. I don't want to say standard mage, but he's like the long range artillery mage, especially when he gets like the cooldowns in his QW, where I forgot what it's called, but basically where he's able to just like use it from like very long range, calling it down from the sky. It is a very, very powerful ability. So definitely looking for him, especially in these team fights to come. If anyone gets CC'd, to kind of use that on top of their head just with the extra damage you get as the execution to come from. And that's kind of why I said I really like Conduit Esports Phoenix's team fight, like front to back, because they have Aphelios, they have Hui, and they have an Auron that can just like stand in front of them and absorb any initial engage. So as long as he's the one taking that initial engage, they should be perfectly fine. And the way that Dorado Gaming side is able to kind of fight that back in a way is they're able to actually, well, Nation's in a little bit of a scuffle here. It is just the Ivern, so you can't really duel him all that much. Plus, with Daps having the ultimate, it's going to be a little hard for him to particularly play in this particular area. But instead, it is actually going to be Cooper getting him out of the area. I mean, Nashim kind of got what he came for. He was able to pick up 2 of the grubs, which is a nice little pickup. But Cooper will be able to get the XP off of killing just the 1 grub, which is important. You only have to kill 1 of the grubs to get the XP for the camp, which is, it's pretty nice for a jungler. But overall, I mean, right now, it's still early in the game. Obviously, First Blood did kind of go the way to Viego, which does feel very nice for him and kind of slowing down this Aatrox's pace early on into the game. But right now, I think both teams are pretty content with the current stage of the game. Obviously, that initial play on the bot side did result in getting both the Aphelios and Milio's flash, so a return gank once Nautilus hits level 6 is very real that Conduit Esports Phoenix will have to be a little bit wary of, especially with Ivern being back down on the bottom side of the map. He is level 6. Sunrai does have flash here. He can look for a play on the rest of the side on the bottom.
All right, here's just Cooper. Ooh, gonna whiff the Q there. Unfortunately, OTF though also was closing in, so maybe for the best that they did not engage that. Even the Viego down here on the bottom side of the rift as well. And so, yeah, I mean, we continue to farm out here. Again, not necessarily surprising based on what we see. And not a huge CS differential in the top lane. We'll see how many of these Auron can pick up. I did want to point out with our statistics that I was just checking out here, Gabriel Leo does have the highest gold difference at 15 minutes of any of the top laners. So, kind of reflective, I guess, somewhat maybe of the picks that he tends to take, but it's actually double that of the nearest person. It looks like he has an average of 1,600 gold lead at 15 minutes. Kind of ridiculous. I mean, also it's reflective of the team winning all their series, to be fair.
Yeah, certainly agree with you. But I did, okay, so for the very first time in the game, I have looked kind of down towards the scoreboard and kind of noticing who has the items and whatnot. This is the first time I'm noticing that AD Carry is down 26 CS.
Oh wow, true.
I believe there has been a singular gank down there because obviously Cooper did blow those flashes down there, but that is a big farm discrepancy already. Yeah. Obviously, Conduit Esports Phoenix is up a little bit in the gold department, mostly off the First Blood, I would say. But other than that, I mean, 2-5. He is hit 2-5 at Efron, were the first place All-Stars for the APL, so they're the ones looking to kind of put Dorado Gaming Sai on their back and see if they can pick up the finals victory here. And 2-5 already kind of putting in the work. And Zeri's the type of champion that can absolutely take over games if she gets the gold necessary to really just kind of take over. And, obviously, we've talked about the team fighting here for Conduit Esports Phoenix a little bit in terms of they have really good fronts by team fighting. They don't actually have a great way of killing Zeri. Zeri obviously is known for her movement speed, and her if you don't ever lock her down, she can just take over fights. There's not a lot of CC on the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix that's just very locked down. Like, sure, they have the Auron ultimate, they have Korn, they have Viego W, and like maybe the Fear of Hui or the Root, but like the last two are fairly hard to land on top of a Zeri specifically. and Zeri obviously having the ghost, having her own ways of escaping. 2-5 can certainly take over this game if the CC does not land onto them. But it does look like a gank from Nation. It's a possibility. It's Not So Dark trying to bait in a potential Nautilus hook here, but
Man,
honestly, as of right now, nothing's really happened too much. But a gank is happening.
Okay, Sunray, he will flash out of the CC there, just to be fair, but now the cavalry is going to arrive, and now it's going to be Sunray going in, as Not So Dark is going to be potentially the first casualty of the fight and will go down, and 2-5 going to be the one picking up kill credit for that. And look at the damage on Nation. He's going to get absolutely melted, and it's a double kill for the Zeri. It's the hyper carry for Dorado Gaming coming online, already so far up in the CS, and now adding those kills to the advantage. Big Dorado Gaming here in this still, I guess, early game.
Yeah, and we saw the initial play there. We okay, like obviously, you know, Not So Dark trying to bait in Sunray there and just looking for a play, but it was actually Not So Dark baiting his own teammates in for a double kill happening over 2-5. And we already mentioned the huge CS discrepancy going forward, and now it's going to be even bigger than that. So we do see Cooper and Efron trying to make a play onto OTF, but does miss out on that initial attempt, and they're just going to end up getting away. But with the play happening on the bottom side of the map at a low, I guess I would say a slow rotation out towards the top side of the map, it is going to be Viego picking up those grubs here on the top side of the map, looking to get probably going to get all 5 here. Obviously, Cooper is in the area, but Ivern contesting a Viego by himself, not the easiest thing to do, especially without Daisy being on cooldowns. You see Dabs trying to get a little rest in here on Gabriel. He has doing a really good damage here. Could potentially look for an ultimate threaten, but wanted to keep that one on the cooldown, or up off the cooldown, and waiting for a little bit more damage here. As we do see Gabriel Leo potentially looking for a base. Does hit cancel. Nation is actually here with Cooper. I think Nation wins this one.
Others are going to run into each other, but Gabriel Leo will be the first one to be to rotate, just because of the shape of the walls here. But keep in mind, definitely low on health. Should be able to farm out this wave though, which is nice for the Aatrox. But yeah, I mean, once the Bramble Vest does come in from the Orange, it does start to get trickier. I mean, Gabriel Leo probably sitting on a decent amount of gold, which will aid him. But for now, top looks like finally this Aatrox getting back to the base. Haven't talked much about the mid lane. We got exactly the same CS. Efron taking the lead by a couple, but it looks like OTF probably able to at least even it up. So, but Vigar, not sure where his stacks are at, but these top laners, okay. Aatrox, does he have enough room to actually make this 1v1 happen? Still hasn't popped the ult. He will now, but Ornn just gonna dash off to safety, not even needing to pull out the Ornn horn there. And I don't even think Ornn has probably ulted so far this game. He's gonna go back to the base. He doesn't have TP, so he will lose some farm, but
definitely gonna lose some farm. But he hasn't really had a reason to do this. You see Cooper was spotted on that ward, so Conduit Esports feeding spot lane should have full information and knowledge that he is being seen on multiple wards now, as Dark is trying to get over into the area. So yeah, Gabriel obviously with the use of the TP is able to push Dabs out of the lane, as well as picking up a tower play of his own. So a little influx of gold. As Zeri has now based after getting those couple of kills. She was sitting on probably about 2,000 gold in her inventory that entire time. So you see Dabs trying to get Gabriel Hill, actually blowing his flash because of the pillar placement there. And
remember, he still has his ult. Did not use it earlier, and now he's going to pull it out. Gabriel Leo also has used his dash earlier, and this is going to be a solo kill. It feels like inevitably for the Ornn, and he will finish it off with the last beat down of his hammer. And you got to be happy about that if you're Conduit Esports Phoenix. I was actually just going to say, you know, even with those turret plates taken, you're happy with how the Ornn has kept up, but it's even better than that, as we do see Rift Herald potentially being the next target for these teams. Aatrox not up for another 9 seconds. It does not have the teleport, but another teleport is up. It's going to be the one, I assume, of OTF, or rather Efron, what am I saying, on the blue side, going to be TPing himself onto a dangerous position. Does have to flash out, but will be safe for now. And now the Rift Herald potentially going to reset. Aatrox trying to get his body up there in a quick manner as they have rotated all 5 members of Dorado Gaming up towards this Rift Herald. On the other side, it is going to be Domination getting some free time with this turret. Remember, the turret plating has already fallen and quite a bit of damage. I believe that was the way, but Gabriel Leo now arriving with Sunrai also aiding in the initial engage, and they're going to be able to pick up the kill on the Hui. OTF going to fall, and they pick up the Rift Herald on the back end of it as well. That's going to be claimed by Just Cooper. We'll see where they want to drop it, or if the bot lane's going to stay here and try to make a play, or if they want to push back down, as the bot lane turret did fall. So there is that traded on the other side of the map, with the gold actually ending up in the favor of Conduit Esports Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge gold investment there over to Domination. I'm surprised Conduit Esports Phoenix stayed around the area for such a long period of time. Typically, when you have your team is when your team is
oh my goodness,
getting so much gold advantage on the bottom side of the map, you want to pay respect and be like, hey, we're getting such a big gold inflection. All we gotta do is keep them up here, and we can just get so much gold on the bottom side. Because Dorado over-rotated their members up to pick that Herald. They really, really wanted it. And the only way it kind of would have been back in their favor is if they they were able to pick off a fight, and they weren't able to do so, getting 2-5 out of their kills. So thankfully for Dorado Gaming side, they were able to pick up that kill to kind of balance that out. But Adam to Gabriel here again has no flash.
Gabriel Leo, he's in a tough position, but he is going to be able to get himself over the wall. Will Nation be able to follow and finish off this kill? Gabriel Leo, he is going to have a lot of lifesteal, but he's got the assistance of his mid laner, and that is going to be Gabriel Leo put in the dirt. Dorado Gaming, though, they are aware they're going to respond on the other side of the map in a big way. First, they're going to pick up the dragons, and then they're also drop the Rift Herald into the bottom lane there, I believe. Did not quite pick up the turret, so we'll see if they're able to finish it off on the back end. I believe they should be able to, but actually mid lane being pushed now as well by Conduit Esports Phoenix. And Orion, we can see why these two teams are here in the finals. They definitely are playing the map in an intelligent way, as it will be that bot lane turret falling. OTA, oh no, actually never mind. What am I saying? I don't know, I got blinded by the Vigar cage. Bot lane turret still not quite falling. I think Efron should be able to finish it off though with this next wave, unless Wave trying to stay, so we'll see. The saga continues.
Yeah, Botland Tower will fall inevitably. Even if Wei was still in the area, he could theoretically protect it, but obviously it is going to be falling eventually. There's no real reason to protect a dying tower as it is, so able to kind of get back and kind of play for that one as we do see him. He's going to play here on the Sunrise, but he backs off, recognizing that Nation was in the area. And looking at some item breakpoints here, we do see multiple items being purchased by everyone here. Obviously, items are being purchased by both teams. Only people that are actually... Dabs is pretty close to 2 items. Domination is likely close to 2 items as well, because he's able to pick up that mid tower. I would imagine there's probably going to be an IE coming through for him, which is going to make him very, very strong if he is able to pick that one up eventually. And with the Dragon obviously being down and Baron as well, nothing really to fight for either of these teams. And going into this matchup, we talked about how both these teams play at a very fast pace. We thought, obviously, Dorado's games being over at 28 minutes, but also having 28 kills in those games as an average, just kind of chooses to speak like how aggressively these teams like to play. There's a lot of fighting happening for both these teams. But overall, Max Gabriel does still not have flash. The Ornn is available if they choose to use it.
Yeah, and remember the turret is not there, so that's going to be a long way to run for this Aatrox, who's definitely doing his best to survive, but Nation eventually is going to finish that one off. Mid lane, though, again, it's all about these trades. So the pressure being created by Aatrox on the top lane, and now there's a TP coming in here, and it's going to be Dabs. Remember, he didn't have to use the Ornn Horn earlier, so he'll have it now, and they're going to try to use it to get onto 2-5. Second knockup, rather, is not going to land, and now it is this area getting the safety, but it will be Just Cooper going down instead. Going to be sacrificed. And so what can Dorado do? They've already taken out the first turret in this mid lane, so they will be just backing off, spending some of the gold that they have in their pockets. And I mean, relatively speaking, I guess, Orion, based on how many kills we're used to from these teams, this is a pretty conservative game one here, with resources being pretty concentrated in a couple of people's hands as far as the kills, at least 4 kills on the Viego, 4 Conduit Esports Phoenix, and then the Zeri on the other side with those 3 kills. So I mean, I think there's a lot of hidden gold, obviously, as well, on the Aphelios, and the turret gold. But 0-4 so far for Aatrox.
Yeah, definitely quite panning
Doesn't
out the way
reflect the
they-
pressure though. for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely not quite panning out the way they'd like this Aatrox space to kind of pan out. Obviously, with this Aatrox, you kind of want him to be dominating the Ornn in the side lane, drawing pressure to him. But in fact, in reality, it's kind of the Ornn handling his own up here in the top. So we are taking a quick look at the garage. Obviously, most of the goal for both these teams, like you mentioned, is going to be on this Zeri and this Viego, who have the most kills. But I feel like it's just right behind this Zeri and Veigar, in terms of the second carrier for the Central Running Game side, isn't really in a great commanding position of this game either. So it's basically going to be between who can kind of carry this game a little bit better for the mid game. Is it going to be Nation, or is it going to end up being 2-5, which we've all seen the characters of Zeri just kind of taking over games. But don't forget, Viego is also was the champion kind of before Zeri. That just, all you gotta do is get a couple kills in a team fight, reset after reset, and just go absolutely crazy. So Viego has that capability as well. And in terms of the one-shot capability, Zeri is obviously gonna be a lot easier to kill than this Viego will be in these team fights to come, because Viego is probably gonna be able to do a little bit more of a bruisery type of build, I would imagine. That way he can kind of get in, get those resets, get as many kills as possible. But with Dragon spawning up in about 35 seconds, Zeri's already 2 items. She is definitely the strongest champion in the game with Static Shiv and Phantom Dancer. So she is definitely the one to watch here from the Dorado Gaming side. We already talked about the lack of lockdown in CC on the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix composition. I think they have a much easier front to back, but Efron could still get caught out here, actually choosing not to go after him. Instead, gonna look to kind of posture around this dragon 10 seconds before it spawns. Zeri's actually able to get the push in the mid lane, so no one's gonna respond to that mid wave initially. And actually, gonna be a rotation over towards the Baron. If you look into there, actually aren't really that many wards over here. There's that one pink ward over where the blue buff area is that is available for their side, so they might have some knowledge happening over here, but kind of Esports is kind of sniffing it out a little bit. Dabs is rotating over. It is 10k health on that Baron. Gabriel is sneaking on the Not So Dark.
He's going to start this engage, but it looks like it's actually just going to be backing off here so far from Conduit Esports Phoenix as we Nation took the soul, took the. I think that you're obviously for Conduit Esports Phoenix having your jungler taking the Drake there, you're going to be happy to, just kind of take that advantage for free, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really well done by Conduit Esports Phoenix, not panicking, recognizing that they don't necessarily have the greatest of Baron. It's basically just Zeri's damage, and Zeri doesn't do a great job at killing structures I guess objectives in general. So they did a really good job patiently walking over towards the Baron, recognizing they had plenty of time to get over there, just having their jungler solo it out. And with Ornn being the one face checking alongside of Not So Dark, they were able to kind of get in and make sure that there was no potential Baron threat happening there. So overall, like you said, it is just a free dragon for them, and they will take that trade any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly will. And a couple minutes ago, we saw we checked in on the Veigar stacks. It was at 162 around 19 minutes. So kind of similar to what you were saying with the gold, not super quick stacking for Efron here in this one. I mean, still gonna keep stacking. That's the beauty of the indefinitely stacking passive, I guess. But
absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't seem like this game certainly doesn't seem like it's going to be over in an instant. If I had to guess, just based on the way that things have gone and the number of structures that are still up. So still more time to get strong. And I guess, here for speaking of continuing to get strong, Dabs hitting level 14 here did already give Viego that upgrade, and Nation is going to be here. They're going to try to pull off this 2v1 against Gabriel Leo, who is able to dodge out on the knockup at first here, which is nice. They are not dealing very much damage to this Aatrox, as Nation getting pretty low, but now going to land this stun, and multiple more members of the team have arrived, providing more healing. It's a 1v4. Gabriel Leo certainly wasting their time, but what can Dorado do with the time that they get back on the other side? They've got this mid lane wave push in, but OTF, great wave clear here with this wave, just able to clear that one out. So I don't know that there's going to be actually any response here, unfortunately, from Dorado.
No, not with Wade's wave clear. Unfortunately, able to rotate over, picking up that
upgraded Infinity Edge too.
Yep. So he obviously was able to kind of make good rotation, but I mean that Aatrox was 0-4, by the way, and was able to get really close to killing that Viego and potentially making that into a 1-for-1 trade. But of the extra CC and just the amount of sheer people in the area really made his life difficult for him. But so I mean, obviously Gabriel Leo is 0-5. It is still a very good amount of impact due to the amount of healing the champion has naturally, and is able to kind of can have a stand in this game, even though he is 0-5. So kudos to him, not letting his squad affect him too much, at least so it seems, and still trying to have as much of an impact on this game as he can. Overall, obviously, Dragon spawning up at about 1:30. We do see Conduit, we do see Dorado Gaming and Conduit Esports trying to get in this area, but Aatrox is going to be over to push the side, so someone will have to answer him eventually. I imagine it will be Dabs, just because he's the tankier member. Hui can still be dove under the tower by the Aatrox if he is not careful. So OTF will need to kind of have some due diligence here on this top side. Making sure not just to face tank a lot of Aatrox's damage, even though he is 0-5 on the scoreboard. As we do see, like I said, both teams kind of posturing. We do have 2 Ornn ornaments coming through. Unfortunately for Ornn, he has not built an Ornn item yet for himself, so he does not have his own upgrade. So hopefully he will build an Ornn item eventually. The easiest one is just Jaxia, because it's like the tankiest item you can have, and it's just a really, really good item to build. So maybe he was end up building that one, or I'm not sure if Kamek is a Ornn item yet or not. But obviously have to wait and see. As 30 seconds away, TP already coming through from Gabriel Leo. They're looking to fight right now.
Okay, Gabriel Leo, but he's gonna be stunned up multiple times at the outset of this. He's just gonna be one combination able to just finish him off, and it's gonna be multiple. It's gonna be the reset picked up here for the Viego for now. Nation now trying to get in the front of the fight, but gonna take a lot of damage on the front end of that from Efron, who does have 2.5 items completed now on this Vigar. Cage gonna go down. Domination is inside there, but there's no way to follow up if you're Dorado, because they don't have that Gabriel Leo on the Aatrox to engage. And even when he is there, we can see Orion, the flaw in that play on this Aatrox, not a tank build, and so he just is CC'd up and goes down there. Conduit Esports Phoenix going to put themselves on a soul point for this Mountain Drake, which does seem like it would be a really nice soul to pick up in this game where you're just looking to edge it out and survive over the enemy team, buy enough time for your hyper carry to finish everyone off. But I mean, one thing, Zeri has not died yet. I will say, there was a thing back when I was casting when Zeri was ubiquitous. It's very difficult to beat a Zeri that has gotten resources in the game without ever killing the Zeri. So you never know. It's never over until Zeri's dead or the Nexus is dead.
Yeah, that's
mostly the Nexus, but just saying, these fights over the neutral objectives and things, eventually teams back off. But when you're gotta push all the way into the base, miracles do happen.
Yeah, well, Dark is by himself.
Yeah, this is gonna be potentially a lonely, lost Milio here, but actually now Gabriel Leo is going to turn his attention over to Dabs. It's going to be the tanky Ornn, will not get caught by the W, and so should be able to just walk this one out. Dorado has been able to then effectively push enemy the Baron, but Efron was the one on the other side, going to be caught between a rock and a hard place here, flashing out from the ultimate of Viego, but it just seems like it's a matter of time. He was always going to die. He bought some time for Dorado, but they're just now starting the Baron. However, it's 28 minutes in. They're doing it pretty quickly. It's at 10K. Diego
Domination has blue gun
just back in the base, so it's going to be just a question of whether or not Dabs oh my goodness, and Dabs and Domination, can they do it in the 2v4 miracle? Dabs taking a lot of damage here, but is so tanky. They're going to go low, and they should be able to finish it now, and the spike is going to come through from Just Cooper, but the rest of the team has now arrived, including the Diego here in a second, and Domination is the name of the game, as 2-5 still going to be alive for another second, but for the first time in this game, Zeri has gone down as it's a sweet 900 G's into the pocket of this Viego, just getting stronger, and 29 minutes in, the game is not over, but we will see how much more Conduit Esports can take.
the Infernum gun coming through from Domination there. All the 5-man group, obviously Aphelios known for those type of moments. And he recognized like, hey, there's 5 people all standing on top of each other. That's so many just waves just bouncing off of each other, exploding for the amount of damage. And obviously you talked about Zeri taking over again. This Aphelios is also 3-0-1, has not died yet with an Ornn upgraded Infinity Edge. So he is incredibly strong at this current state of the game, especially with Amelia buffing him up in that fight. And I think they might have been able to take off that Baron as well, if they'd been a little bit more aggressive. I think obviously Domination, there were the iron bushes popped up on the areas. I don't think he had super good vision and didn't want to just full send it, but I think he could have definitely went absolutely crazy in that fight and might have been able just to outright win it for his team in that particular moment. But I obviously recognizing the fact played a little bit safer, didn't want to do anything too super crazy. They were able to pick up the kills. The gold lead is now much in their favor, about a 3,000 gold lead or so. And with the dragon spawning up in about a minute and a half or so, this is going to be their time to take this one over. Lots of summoner spells from the major carries got used there. 2-5, no summoner spells. Efron does not have flash. This is going to be a very difficult fight for them to play in about a minute's time, especially if the Ornn ultimate comes on top of them. And this Viego is absolutely a monster. 3 completed items, 6 1 into Nation. The first team, obviously all-pro jungler, not all-pro, all-star jungler for the APL. He is looking to take his team to a Game 1 victory.
Has been super critical. Also has definitely been the beneficiary of great play from the side lanes. I mean, particularly in the top lane, Dabs enabling this Viego to pick up that first blood and really get the ball rolling early on in this one. And then Domination, I mean, falling behind in lane early on, but gifted that position of being able to sit in that bot lane while the team lost not too much, I guess. Well, he was able to pick up so much gold. And since then, it has definitely been this Aphelios dealing a lot of the damage as well. Just a lot of fighting over vision here. You can see 10 seconds until this dragon is going to spawn, but it would be a soul if it was picked up for Conduit Esports Phoenix. On the other hand, though, Conduit Esports Phoenix, they don't need to necessarily fight for it. No other objectives on the map nearby, but they don't need to force any fight that they don't necessarily want to take. But you could tell they're juiced up here. We've got 3 ornaments on the board. So they're feeling strong as well.
Yeah, interesting little standoff here happening for both teams. Sunrise potentially looking for a flank to come through, as Dragon has now been started up. 8,000 on that Dragon. Sunrise is being spotted on that word. Look at
he's going to jump over, but this Nautilus, we'll see how tanky he can be, as he's going to be able to survive just fine at the beginning of this fight. And now Dabs, I don't think he got the second half of the ultimate off, but it's going to be all about these 80 carries and how much they can do. As 2-5 is now all of a sudden in the beginning, in the front of the fight. Now Zeri able to jump over the other side of the wall, but will she be able to 1v4, because the rest of the team was just dead on the other side? And the Dragon just now going down, but it's an afterthought of the team fight, as it's Conduit Esports Phoenix picking off Efron to finish Dorado, and they're going to take it down the mid lane. 10 seconds on Sunray, but the rest are going to be 25 seconds on Just Cooper. We'll see what they can pick up here. They don't have, or no, they have 1 minion. They do have 1 minion, and they're doing a nice job. They keep the minion alive. Not So Dark going to be tanking up that turret, so they want to finish the game right here, 33 minutes in. We'll see. They got the minion wave coming. I mean, there's 6 seconds. Yeah, it looks like the rest of the team is going to be up.
Backing off. I think they could have won the game right there, honestly. I think they had red white, they had the cannon minion. I think if they wanted to look for it, I think they could have, but this is the first game of the finals. They wanted to play a little bit safer. They have the they have the Mountain Soul. They are in a really, really good position from this point on to really try to take over this game. Baron spawning up in a minute. As long as they don't just like chain die here as they're all trying to leave and they're able to just reset here and spin some of their gold, they should be able to pick up this Game 1 victory. And that fight, honestly, the fight was a little interesting at first. We did see Sunray obviously hopping over the wall, trying to get that initial engagement. I think his ultimate went onto one of the, it was either Milio or was it Ornn? I can't remember exactly. It was on a non-priority target. So even though his engage looked kind of okay at the moment, He didn't have a super great ultimate at the initial point, and since the ultimate from Nautilus was so short, it didn't go through multiple targets and ended up knocking up multiple people. He also went for Bloodsong, which is a little interesting. P.S. Can you hover over Bloodsong real quick? See how much damage it's done? I'm a little curious. And that's what I thought. It's done 84 damage, and he's hit one person.
Oh, it's bugged. It could be bugged. Could be bugged.
Is it bugged?
Could be.
It
Could be. I mean, we wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
But I mean, obviously, I think Bloodsong's just like not the choice this game. I think he needs to be a little bit tankier. But that's besides the point, because Barion's obviously being started, and Aphelios will absolutely murder this objective if they do not get over here. TP comes in from Efron. Sunrise in the area. Cooper's trying to get in.
Yeah, no, it's just going to be gone already. No chance for a steal here, but it's going to be all up to the fight afterwards. Baron is not going to change the results of that necessarily, as Not So Dark is going to go down very quickly at the beginning of this. And remember, it's not just any champions left with a chance to win the game. It's Zeri, but it is going to be multiple members now going down in just Cooper and Gabriel Leo. Zeri is going to jump over the wall. What will she be able to do? Is Domination still sitting in the backline? Is Nation almost able to land the damage, but now able to finish off this area? And we can only imagine that this has to be the end, as Efron and Sunrai, the only two members left with a hope or a dream of trying to save this game. Super minions pounding down the mid lane, as it is going to be Nation trying to come in here, going to take the turret. Aggro taking a lot of damage, but Sunrai going very low. Efron going to go back into the fountain to heal up. What can they do? This last Nexus turret is going to go down here. Hook is going to go wide. Nice cage, though, as they will be able to take out one. Domination, though, he has been so huge throughout this game, and he's going to be able to finish it off. Nexus going to fall for Conduit Esports, and game one will go to them, trying to avenge their defeat back in the regular season and claim this APL championship. They've taken the first step on that road.
Yeah, and honestly, a pretty clean game overall from Conduit Esports Phoenix. We saw the top side domination, obviously Gabriel Leo pushing Chu fairly often and trying to exposing him in certain situations, and Nation did a really good job punishing. You know, we kind of talked about it a little bit, saying like, hey, you know, kind of going over the areas where it's like, hey, even though like it is a tank top laner, that tank top laner can set up your carry jungler with those ganks and able to kind of punish them in ways where you're able to kind of put yourself in an opportunity to carry. And Viego is one of those champions where if he does get ahead, he can just absolutely take fights with reset after reset. And we kind of saw that. And we also saw, like, you know, even just like in the front to back team fighting, when, you know, one team has a full tank Ornn, able to soak up the engage, be so very tanky in the front line, letting massive CC. And even though Gabriel Leo had the health sustain and even the damage to fall up in some of the team fights, he just wasn't able to do nearly as much as Dabs was on the Ornn in that game because of how far he ended up falling behind. Wasn't able to draw members to a side lane, wasn't really able to kind of have any real pressure into the Ornn past about 10 or 15 minutes, unfortunately for him. So definitely gonna have to obviously have a bit of a different game plan, I would say, because that was their first. They were blue side. They did B1 that Aatrox. So definitely looking for, I guess, a different opportunity to see, okay, where exactly can that take us? And if we do want to pick Aatrox again, we will kind of have to keep in mind that, you know, they're in the top laner, played the matchup fairly well, was able to kind of stunt our Aatrox. So maybe they'll kind of go into it with a different game plan in mind.
We will have to wait and see. We are going to take a break. I'm not sure if we'll be going into the draft or just straight onto the Rift, but we will be back in some capacity after a break for game number 2 of Dorado Gaming side. We'll see if they can try to tie this one up, or if it's going to be Conduit Esports going up 2 games. We'll see you when we're back.
Staying in from all the cold weather, I'm getting sick thinking of you. Feels just like the flu. I'm drowning in the soup. I've been thinking of you. I can't find my cold. Everywhere I go so cold. Wish that I could go, but you're too deep in the snow. Frozen skylights stored outside, and it makes me frozen inside. Every night I wanna drive by, but my coat is lost in the snow.
from all the cold weather. I've been getting sick thinking of you. Feels just like the flu, drowning in the soup. I've been thinking of you. Broadcast from my room, someone let me loose. Sunshine in a noose, frosted in the gloom. And I can't dry to you, my windshield frozen too. Think gas won't make the fumes, I'll never make it back to you. I sit at night, circle my mind with the fireplace in my eyes. In the twilight, different moonlight, nothing comes out late at night. Staying in from all the cold weather. I've been getting sick thinking of you. Feels just like the flu, drowning in the soup. I've been thinking of you. Cold nights, drive through different fields. Roll down, window when the heat is on.
Painted like I love it, lose myself in it, pour my soul into it, the colors in the canvas until I love it. I love it. I love it. It turns into collide, kaleidoscopic nightmare in my life. I love it, but it's evil in the light. Colors swirl when the darkness finds. I want to shatter to pieces at a time.
One and all, welcome back to game number 2 of Dorado Gaming Psi against Conduit Esports Phoenix. As we can see, the draft and actually the game, as which we'll jump into in a moment, have taken place. And Orion here in these drafts, my immediate thought, we're definitely seeing something completely different here in game 2. Across the board pretty much here for both teams, so it's kind of back to the drawing board a little bit, despite the fact that it didn't seem like either of the team comps was super flawed necessarily in the first game. Maybe Dorado's a little bit more.
Yeah, I think specifically for Dorado Gaming Psi, after having such a rough start to the series, they kind of wanted to switch things up. They started off on blue side, wanted to go over to the red side for game number 2, and it seems like both teams have a fairly high priority on the Aatrox. So instead, this time around, Dorado Gaming banning away that Aatrox away from the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix, and this time it does leave up Conduit Phoenix able to pick up that Ashe very early on into the draft. But Dorado Gaming Psi able to kind of counter it out a little bit. They want to do an aggressive kind of pushing bot lane with the Caitlyn and the Lux, but that does leave them a little bit vulnerable to what Conduit Phoenix has drafted for themselves. They went with the Zac in the jungle with the Nautilus and the support. That Sunrise picked up in the last game. So a lot more, I think, still very teamfight focused-esque, I would say, for Conduit Phoenix Esports, with a little bit of the split push in the Gwen. And I think for red side here, for Dorado Gaming Psi, it's a lot of that point-and-click CC and the follow-up thereafter. Like anytime, like Maokai W, Lux Q, any of that CC, even like Renekton point-and-click, like that return damage thereafter with the flick back from Taliyah and the traps coming through from 2-5 on the Caitlyn will be very, very oppressive in this game. But you're going to have that setup, though. You're going to have to actually get to these objectives first, actively set up these team fights appropriately, and that way they're not getting wombo comboed by the Orianna, by the Zac, by the Nautilus, and just all the damage therefore thereafter. So this game's going to be an interesting game, I would say, in terms of for Dorado Gaming Psi, because they are already down 1-0 in this series. Definitely need to kind of pick up this victory, because obviously, going down 2-0 in the finals is never a good feeling.
Yeah, certainly is not for Dorado. We've seen how good they can be throughout the series, so we know they can come back, but we are going to jump onto the Rift to see if they will need to come back from more than one game, I guess, whatsoever here. And I mean, we touch on it, Brian, a little bit, but these bot lanes with the Caitlyn and the Lux, it is going to be Dorado really indexing into that early game power. But with that, it's kind of similar to the Aatrox, who I do think hold a lot of influence on the map for Dorado last game. But when you invest into that early, into that early game power, you want to get something out of it. So we'll see, what can be gained here in the bot lane from 2-5 and Sunrise.
Yeah, I mean, so far, obviously across the board, standard 5-point for both these teams, and kind of like you mentioned, obviously, the Caitlyn Lux, the main reason you pick this bot lane is you want to kind of dominate the lane, you want to show that you can be assertive, and we saw last game in particular, which is the CS category. There was that one gank in particular that come through from Cooper on the Ivern that did blow both the Summoner Spells of Domination and Not So Dark on that bot side, and they were able to build a sizable CS lead thereafter, in with 0 kills involved for either team. I believe at one point it was even close to 30 before the 10-minute marker. It was at one point, I think before both AD carries base, it was close to 80 to 50, I believe. So 2-5 and Sunrise, I guess, saying, hey, we were able to dominate lane last game. Let's pick an even stronger of a bot lane to come through here. See how much we can dominate this one coming through. So you do see a little bit of trade here happening from Gabriel and Daps, but it is going to be junglers once again, starting on the opposite sides of the map here. Maokai on the top side, Zac going to be on the bottom side, probably playing for the opposite sides. It makes sense for the Maokai to kind of go down to protect this bot lane. They're to be asserting a lot of pressure down here, so anytime you're pushing your limits on one side of the map, you're always leaving yourself vulnerable to a potential gank. But if Maokai's there to hover that gank, he will be able to kind of protect his laners a little bit and will be able to potentially counteract that gank if Zac were to go for it.
And as we have a little bit of a, just farming it out here in the lane phase, didn't want to take the moment since we didn't have that extended champion select to shout out pro comps. We didn't have the champ select, but we did talk a lot about these team compositions. And given that these are so balanced, I would not be surprised if these teams have installed the Game Changer of an app. If they haven't, then you know, obviously it's just a coincidence. But remember, it is that personal draft coach that is right in your ear, or also right there on your screen, integrated in with your league client, and it can allow you to take your game to the next level. Like Just Cooper, he's taking it to the next level here in the mid lane, going to take a turret shot at OTF, trying to run this one out on the Orianna. The Flash already expanded the Maokai sapling, going to be doing some damage, but it's not enough with the health potion ticking. It is going to be OTF able to walk that one out. Flash is traded with the Maokai, but that will be an Orianna that's going to be very vulnerable here, just 3 minutes in.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit, I guess, D-synergy there. I think Efron could have thrown out his E a little bit earlier, and that way Cooper could just knock back the Orianna into the Unraveled Earth there. But Efron actually had to blow his own flash here in the mid lane. So we talked about, obviously, Orianna being vulnerable here, but Zach getting the return gank, making sure that his mid laner is going to be safe in this lane. Obviously, had already TP'd back into the lane, so Efron will be able to use his own TP, so won't end up missing out that much in the CS category. But overall, obviously doing a really good job as Gabriel Leo, once again, playing very aggressively. Did get punished a lot in the first game. Ooh, this mistake.
Yeah, he does have some resources to work with here, but now Dav's also going to be in the bush. He is going to get the empowered Q on Renekton, still has the flash, and he's going to choose to use it now, waiting for his cooldowns. What does he have up? Going to have W in just a moment. Q is going to get him a little bit of life left. He has empowered, but remember, Zach will be able to blob out, but it's not even going to come to that because it's the first blood picked up. And once again, 2 games in a row, it's going to go to the jungler from Conduit Esports.
Yeah, it's a little bit different this time around, though, because last game Nation was playing the Viego, and obviously, you know, Viego being that champ that can take over games. This game, it's Nation playing the Zac. Now, to be fair, Zac is one of those champs that can obviously be really, really aggressive. OTF does not have flash here.
Yep, was blown in that earlier gank, and Just Cooper has arrived once again. This time, Efron not going to miss on that seismic shove, and it will be the, you know, the tanks getting fed here early on, with Just Cooper smacking down the last hit on that. I mean, I will say you want to make sure you secure that. You never know if the Zac is around the corner here. But as you said, Orion, definitely going to be a different role here for Nation, just in that he will not be on that carry champion. I will say he was playing pretty far in the backline on the Viego, playing that facilitative role. So, you know, we know that that is something that he's certainly capable of. But here in the bot lane, Not So Dark is going to land the hook onto 2-5, who is going to have to flash away after getting ignited up. And so that is going to be the ignite for flash trade. Happy to take that if you're Conduit Esports.
Yeah, happy to take it for sure. And if you're looking at the bot lane, obviously CS discrepancy here, it is non-existent. This is not what you want if you're playing a Caitlyn Lux lane. You definitely want to be building up a lead here in the bottom side of the map, and unfortunately they haven't quite been able to really do that. In fact, it's actually going to be Ashe and the Nautilus getting a flash trade there onto 2-5, so really well done there by Not So Dark. And with Not So Dark's flash coming up relatively soon, the play onto 2-5 can very easily just be like flash auto, forcing the cleanse, and then landing the hook thereafter. And with all the CC that both Nautilus and Zac have, it can most likely be a fairly easy kill to pick up if they choose to look for a play in the future like that. So definitely something to kind of look out for in the next minute or two, or at least until 2-5 does have that flashback up. He will be very, very vulnerable, as Reducing Nation obviously is pathing down. So that gank opportunity, especially with where the wave is right now, I think if 2-5 is definitely need to blow up this wave and get this wave pushed in as quickly as possible, especially this next wave, because their wave's going to be basically permanently stuck here if they don't actually push it in. And 2-5 definitely is very, very in a uncomfortable position with where their current state is. They're pushing it in now, which is really good. If they didn't recognize this, if they were a little slow on this, they definitely could have got really, really punished here. But they were able to push it in, reset, get a good base off here, and won't miss out too much. But I do want to say, I did recognize on that mid gank, I don't know if you noticed, Elsa, but that's a Conqueror on Maokai. Because I saw him lit up orange, and I was like, wait, why is that tree orange? I was a little concerned, and then I realized he has Conqueror. I believe, I could be wrong, that's a mistake.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely what he would have been running last game. Or no, wait, no, last game. What am I saying? He wasn't Viego last game. That was he was playing the tree, another tree, the other tree.
He's playing Iris. He took Glacial then. So I don't know if he like opted
Could be
into
a bug,
taking Conqueror.
perhaps. We'll have to check that, maybe, or I don't even know if we can. But Efron actually going to get hooked up here. Gang
Yeah,
does not have his
shield.
flash up. It just came up. So great
Huge.
timing here. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but Not So Dark just, you know, either way is in the right place at the right time. Bot lane is going to shove in here. So some turret plating being picked up for this Lux and Caitlyn. Will they be punished for it? Because we do have OTF making their way to the bottom side of the map. Looks like Maokai potentially sticking around in the area to cover here. And Not So Dark, excuse me, coming in aggressively, but nobody here anymore.
Yeah, he is on a ward, obviously, so they do kind of have the knowledge that Cooper is just kind of chilling here. So they don't really have to do a whole lot in terms of making a play happen here, but also as well, Efron is also kind of hovering around the area. It does look like it's going to be a potential push out here, or I guess Cooper is just going to show his dominance, throw a tiny little sapling at domination, and walk away. There's not a whole lot's happening on the bot side of the map here, but Nation is still kind of hovering around, and so is Cooper. So you do see arrow landing, but the cleanse automatically coming through here. So not a whole lot of action happening on the other side of the map as well, but there goes the Cooper ultimate. Both sides launching their abilities. Nice flash.
Yeah, Not So Dark will get themselves to safety there using the flash, but no flash from the Nautilus. Definitely not, you know, it's annoying, I guess. It's not like the vulnerability that we saw in the mid lane, but just and it could potentially be, but it mostly just means that less engage opportunities. Thankfully this time they do have that Zac, so I am excited for the Zac Orianna combo potential as we continue to get through this game. We'll track that. And I mean, speaking of Orianna, definitely happy with this performance so far in the mid lane. Is OTF sitting with a much bigger advantage than last game on Efron, who has, I would say, overall struggled throughout the first couple of games.
Yeah, I think obviously, you know, for the side of Dorado Gaming here, they're still in a pretty good position, but yeah, like you mentioned, obviously with Talia falling fairly far behind here, close to being down about 20 CS or so. Does have a mid lane to collect, or mid wave to collect, so he'll be able to kind of catch back up just a little bit here. As we do see a nice little trade happening here, but Dabs definitely will be able to kind of win this one out towards the back end of that trade. Definitely could have potentially looked to invest a potential ultimate there, kind of potentially forcing out Dominus a little bit there, but instead wants to kind of hang on to that one with, in case there is a fight. It's going to happen here over for grabs, as we do see Sunrai is over in the area. This time Dorado Gaming has not over rotated. They are keeping their 80 carry down on the bot side, but Hook landing here on Not So Dark.
That's going to be Lux in the wrong spot, but she is going to be able to use her Q and flash to get away for now. Heal also utilized. She's going to try to sting a little bit on the backside of that play and hitting OTF with that laser ultimate R button.
That is going to be the death ray coming through from Lux.
Exactly.
Exactly. Obviously, an incredibly short cooldown, so there's no real, like, I think it's like 40 seconds or so, as you just see Enchanted Crystal Arrow shooting to the moon. Unfortunately, from Domination, not quite able to land that one coming through, but Dragon obviously being started up by the side of Dorado Gaming side. I think, you know, Conway Esports, they do have a pretty good position. TPing coming through as well from OTF. They might actually, for a play here, Cooper might look for an ultimate as Nation's in.
Oh, and it's going to be nice peel at first here, as Nation's going to lose the majority of his health bar as Zac right away. Those health bars do look really juicy from Dorado Gaming, but can Conduit Esports actually get access to them, as members are going to fall very low. Gabriel Leo is here. They're all together in that bush, but there is no, crucially, actually, there's no ultimate from the Orianna to be able to engage this fight, and Zac going to lose the passive for really no reason. I'm not really sure what ended up happening. That Nation was in that spot, maybe potentially had been trying to look for an angle to get over the wall, but you know, just one death. That will be you know, nice to pick up if you are Dorado. On the other side, Dabs, though, I mean, it's different than the Ornn in that this Gwen will continue to scale and be a threat on her own. But speaking of threats, Gabriel Leo has arrived, and Efron, does have Efron in his back pocket. I mean, yeah, she's fine. Gwen is immune.
Well played there by Dabs, able just to barely dash over that wall. And honestly, I think that team fight right there. Oh, actually, Shockwave.
Oh, just Cooper really low, just trying to farm out this mid wave, and the last Q from OTF gonna pick it up for the Orianna. That is a nice for that scaling mage could end up being really influential later in this game as a champion is Gabriel Leo. I don't think this is going to work out when you take 3 turret shots, and Dab's going to be the one to pick up the kill credit in the mid lane, though it's Efron taking advantage of some greed, I guess. Nothing else that we could really chalk that up to from OTF, and that one's actually going to hurt because does not have the teleport. Should have been going back to the base, or maybe got interrupted. Obviously, we did not see.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there in the mid lane, but definitely, I would say stayed too long for sure. I think Efron definitely TP'd somewhere. I don't know if he TP'd to the tower or not. It could have potentially TP behind him or something and kind of caught him off guard, I guess. But we do see obviously the nice little play up in the top side. Once again, Gabriel Leo not having a great game again in this one around. I think the last game he was either 0-6 or 1-6, one of the two. This time around he's 1-2, not off to a great start whatsoever. So unfortunately, once again, still playing that Bruiser type of champion. So Renekton isn't necessarily the most useful champion when he's behind. Obviously, he does have the point and click W stun, but other than that, that's basically all he's got when he does end up falling behind. So definitely have to kind of find a way to kind of keep himself in this game a little bit relevant. Obviously, he's not too far behind, but he is obviously currently going to be down some XP and down a little bit less than 1,000 gold or so. So still trying to about 700 gold. So still able to kind of maintain some relevancy here in this early game, but definitely don't want to keep falling any further behind. So we do see Cooper trying to hover down here. There's a bot set of the plays. We see 2-5 and Sunrise trying to get a lot of pressure here, but plates are already down here as Cooper potentially looking for a play, I would say. I mean, this is 2 full health champions. Obviously, nice little E binding there from Sunrise.
Okay, Ultimate going to come in from the Maokai to lock them down, and it looks like Domination going to be the first target here. Not So Dark is going to be able to block that, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. It looks like overall will be the 1v2, so the dive is going to be pulled off. They will pick up the tower on the other side, but as always, we got to check out the map and see what's going on elsewhere, and it doesn't look like there's any going to be anything else major traded outside of the Rift Herald. We don't see mid lane turret, but I don't think it's low enough. Yeah, not even close. So yeah, it's going to be the first turret of the game, and Caitlyn Lux, I mean, that is what they're supposed to do, right, Orion? I mean, you're supposed to be able to take the first turret really early, and that step has been succeeded upon for Dorado. Now let's see how they can translate the pressure around the map by reassigning these lanes, as Gabriel Leo, he is Renekton, so he'll be useful later, but might need to get out of there. That might be where you need to send the Caitlyn and Lux potentially.
If Sunrise wasn't there to give him the shield,
where you at, buddy?
Just dead. Wow. That was a
the death
crazy
chamber,
play.
I guess.
Yeah, that was actually a crazy play from Sunrise. Dabs living with one ace. Sorry, Dabs unfortunately not quite able to give Leo because the shield barely came through from Sunrise, able to keep him alive. But then also, like you said, just Cooper just completely by himself down on the bottom side of the map, running into Domination, able to pick up the kill there, and propelling himself forward in this game. I mean, right now, like Dabs is dominating Gabriel Leo in this side lane, and it's honestly, it's just going to get worse for this Renekton, who doesn't just like lose into side lane pressure, as we're trying to kind of at least hold a pressure a little bit. Right now, the win condition for Dorado is going to be this dragon stacking already happening here, as they do already have those 2 dragons. So if they're able to pick up this 3rd dragon soul, that is going to absolutely be massive for them. But it does look like all 5 members of Conduit Esports Phoenix are rotating over towards this dragon, as we do see trying to kind of posture for this vision a little bit here for both these teams. But Renekton does have the TP, so he will be able to kind of join this fight if he does choose to use that, as the trap line is already being placed. So I talked about before this game, setting up his objectives first for Dorado Gaming side is going to be so incredibly important, and they are here first. They have to be able to establish this line, though, as Nation looking to hop in first.
Okay, Nation going in, but the dragon still at lots of HP, so not necessarily the optimal engage at first, but now is able to get into the meat of the enemy team, but 2-5 is going to be able to come away alive for now. So far, Sunrise, the only one to fall, as Nation now once again in the front line is going to blob out for now, but they're not really able to prioritize the blobs. Now they are going to center their attention onto this Dorado, somehow just coming out cleanly on top of this fight. They're going to go I believe it was 5 for 1. Sunrai actually respawning by the end of that fight, but it's Dorado here in game number 2 showing some huge signs of life. They use that bot lane advantage. Somehow their bot or their AD carry survives through that fight, and they are going to take that dragon and put themselves on soul point just 17.5 minutes in.
Yeah, they wanted to look for that initial fight before Renekton was able to even join for the fight. But Renekton didn't even TP. He walked his way down for that fight and was actually able to be there in time to actually make up for things that are happening in that current fight. But we saw the initial engage coming through from Nation, hopping over OTF, landing a shockwave, but the shockwave only went onto the Lux. So yeah, they killed the Lux. Whoop-de-doo, she is the support. Everyone else in the team actually matters in these team fights, and Talia and Caitlyn able to space and buy themselves enough time, and they were able to absorb the initial engage. And once Zac goes in and once Orianna uses her shockwave, their ability to do team fights obviously becomes very lackluster from their one out. Gabrielio is being jumped on here, but multiple members of Dorado are here.
He's not alone. Ooh, but a nice job by the Zac. I'm seeing multiple members here, and it ends up being Efron, who is just not where you want to be if you are a Talia. Sunrai going to be the next target here, and is going to get caught up by the Enchanted Crystal and Arrow, knocked up by Nation, and that's a tough situation if you are a squishy Lux. Mid lane turret is going to be the target here of the Caitlyn and the Maokai, so that one should fall. But how much further can Conduit Esports Phoenix keep pushing on this top side? Because Dorado going to back off now. This turret's still at full HP, so it seems like it might be a little bit disrespectful to stay here. Remember, Just Cooper does still have the ultimate on the Maokai available should he choose to pull the trigger, but Nautilus, they know what's coming here, and they're going to walk right into it, as it is going to be Nation into the back line, engaging once again. 2-5 does not have the flash from the last fight, not able to get himself over the wall on this Caitlyn, but the rest of Dorado is on the other side, and Efron has boxed in the enemy team, at least for the moment. The Talia wall will now fall, and Conduit Esports Phoenix should be able to run themselves out of this situation for now, unless they don't want to, as Dabs is turning back, but now Not So Dark might regret that decision. Is going to use the Dreadline to get himself off to safety for now and get away from the threat of that little Maokai sapling slash present. And we get a lot of action there, but ultimately, I mean, Conduit Esports Phoenix, they don't get the tower, but they aren't hugely punished for that overextension either way. And the gold lead is in the hands of Dorado, but it's so minuscule. It's only about a 400, 300 gold lead, 20 minutes in almost. Not necessarily super meaningful separating these teams.
Yeah, definitely either team's game here at the 20-minute marker. And I thought for a moment, like when that initial pick happened on the top side of the map, I was like, okay, that's actually going to be Baron. But that was back at 18.5 minutes. So neither team able to pick the Baron. And that's really how long the fight lasted. And I think that at first, the initial kill onto Efron happened right at the 18:30 marker. And then the chase down the tier 2, the face checking into the Nautilus, and the kill thereafter took about a minute's time. So obviously, with the goal lead being this dead even, it's going to be basically up to either team really here to pick up the victory here. We do see quite a lot of magic resistance being built up here. Both sides of Dorado Gaming side, we've got Force of Nature, Hollow Radiance, Maw of Mortius being picked up here on the top side of the map for them. So definitely looking to absorb as much max damage as they possibly can here. And really just trying to be uber tanky, really, for their side of the game right now. Obviously, Ashe is trying to do as much damage as he can, but it is a full magic damage top side here for the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix with the Orianna, the Zac, and the Gwen. So definitely optimizing in a good way here for the side of them. But obviously, Gwen will be doing true damage as this game does go on with her Q. So Gabrielio is going to look to fight this. I do not think you win this, my friend.
It's a 1v1. It's looking close for the moment. If he can maybe get another Q off, but it will be Dabs, the first one to get the Q off, and had multiple other members, including Zac, flying in for assistance there. No punish on the other side of the Gwen at this point is going to be able to melt those towers really quickly, but Sunrai on the other side should be able to stop that from happening for now. In fact, definitely taking some aggressive positioning here. And looks like Dabs will be backing off. Dorado wanted to potentially lay a trap if the Gwen wanted to stay on that turret, but they are going to be able to stop her back now. Caitlyn, Gwen W seriously just cancel Caitlyn ult?
Well, it cancels it, but it doesn't put it on cooldown. Now,
Yeah,
if
but still, that's kind of wild.
the thing is though, if Daz would have waited until the Caitlyn actually fired, it would have put it on cooldown. But since it didn't even fire, it's still up and available. It only put it on cooldown for like 5 seconds or so.
Sure. All right. Well, good to know.
Once again, this is sole point for Dorado Gaming side. They're in a really good position here, but obviously Conduit Esports Phoenix able to get flash by Sunrise. Cooper ulting in.
Okay, now just Cooper maybe wants to find the engage after some tools were blown, but it is going to be a close play. Oh, we're going to see a nice ultimate here by the Orianna doing damage onto the backline, but 2-5 and Efron are both still alive for Dorado, dealing damage. The health bar so low though, as it is going to be Conduit Esports Phoenix once again taking the charge. They've got that Zac right in the front line. He's going to blob out now, but 2-5 should just be a matter of time before he falls. Gabriel Leo trying to find some health back on this Renekton, but it's just too little, too late. And it's going to be just one death for Conduit Esports Phoenix. 4 for 1. As these team fights seem like they just keep going back and forth, and critically for Conduit Esports Phoenix picking up that dragon to deny the soul from Dorado for now.
Yeah, absolutely massive for Conduit Esports Phoenix, able to pick up that dragon, delaying that timer another 5 minutes where they're not able to pick up that Dragon Soul. And they're already getting fairly tanky, as you can see with some of the items that are being built up here, but the Mountain Soul on top of it would have made it that much harder. But we saw a big difference from last fight to this fight for Conduit Esports Phoenix was the fact that their initial engage led onto multiple members this time around. Key members to Efron, Sunrise got absolutely blasted in that team fight by the initial jump and then the shockwave thereafter, plus the Gwen ultimate on top as well, just completely annihilated the fight. We saw Gabriel Leo and Just Cooper trying to get in the thick of things. Actually, Efron being jumped on. He does not have Talia wall, so this will be a little bit hard, but they don't quite see enough people. And with Cooper rounding over the area, they will be able to get Efron out of the area. That would have been almost likely a Baron takeaway there if Efron would have died. So good job keeping their mid laner alive. But like I was saying, we saw Gabriel Leo and Cooper try to get in the backline, try to disrupt their team fight, but Renekton and Maokai can only do so much disruption if their backline is not capable of doing damage. And we talked about the setup prior. They want to have the saplings, they want to have the Lux E's, the bindings, like these different things coming through where they're able to chain CC somebody. If Conduit Esports Phoenix is able to start that team fight first and wombo combo you, your setup is just completely broken, and you don't really have the front line besides Maokai necessary to then do front to back team fighting afterwards, especially once your back line gets exploded like that.
25 minutes into this game, and it's now it is a gold lead that has emerged for Conduit Esports Phoenix, but remember, 3 dragons still for Dorado. They're certainly not out of this one yet, but Conduit Esports, they were biding their time for the majority of this game. It now feels like they have put themselves in the driver's seat with Gwen continuing to pressure in this side lane. See this 1v1, but I don't know if you want to fight this if you're Renekton. Fortunately, the first ultimate gonna miss there from the Gwen, but not too big of a cooldown. And Renekton pretty far pushed out. The pressure will continue to mount here, and I mean, you can see on the map that Conduit Esports Phoenix, they're actually just going to start this one up. They just want to test, put Dorado to the test, and they're going to, at the very least, they've blown the vision or the blue trinket. So 9k on the Baron, and they are going to back off. Talia wall also going to be thrown out here, but I mean, they can just rinse and repeat. They're actually just going to start it up again. 9,000 gold on the Baron, and they continue to control the vision inside the pit. Dorado now advancing. Renekton going back to base, which tells me he's likely going to prepare to potentially teleport in. But Gwen also backing off for now. So things... Possibly we could see both people from the top laners, and we are going to see a start to the fight here. Sunrise just not in a place that you are allowed to be if you are Lux at this moment, and it's already 1 kill against Dorado to start out this fight. But Domination is going to get shut down, and that is a very important member of Conduit Esports Phoenix here. What else can they do in this team fight for Dorado as Dabs has gotten into the backline and taken down the Renekton? But will it be enough? He's going to be so fast with the speed up from OTF on the Orianna, so that should signal the end to the fight, and it's actually going to be 2 dead from Dorado, but they will continue the siege down the mid lane. Remember, they've still got this Caitlyn, they've still got their Talia to clear the waves and deal damage to this turret. It looks like they should be able to fell this mid lane turret, and then hopefully back off to safety to live another day. So I mean, I think that actually ends up looking pretty good for Dorado based on the initial setup at the Baron.
Yeah, pretty good indeed overall, I would say. This isn't even kind of stalling it out, but several kills going over to the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix, and with the Dragon spawning up in about 40 seconds here, multiple big item breakpoints just kind of got purchased up here. We saw 3 items being purchased by Dabs, finishing up that death cap. Ash really, really close to getting 3 items as well. I don't think they'll quite have enough gold in the tank to build up that 3rd item before this one spawns, so a little bit unfortunate there, but we are seeing big item discrepancies here from these teams. Even though it is about a 3k goldie, the big one is the death cap sitting here on top of Dabs. He has been absolutely taking over some of these fights in this game and kind of looking to like really seal, like, you know, a bit of a nail in the coffin here, as we do see obviously Efron trying to push out top wave a little bit, recognizing he does need to be with his team. He will likely be TPing into this area, most likely, or walking as quick as he can. We just get initial hook landing on Sunrai again.
Sunrai getting caught out, it seems like, time after time in this game, and it is going to be Not So Dark claiming the first kill credit of the game. Now Zach actually slingshotting himself to safety, not making it over the wall, but it doesn't end up mattering because now they're going back in as it's going to be Not So Dark the target now. Orianna ultimate not, I think it maybe caught 1, maybe 2, but 2-5 is sitting low, and they're still very healthy over on the side of Conduit Esports. They're feeling comfortable to start this dragon up. Remember, it would be huge to be picked up here by Dorado, but Just Cooper can't even get into the pit, and I don't know why they were sticking around, because they might end up getting punished. Though for now able to back it off. Remember, Orianna can continue to provide those speed ups though, as Nation is going to get his engage blocked initially by Just Cooper, but Just Cooper now will be the target as Domination gonna continue the chase here on the Ash. Very difficult to run away from the Frost Archer as Nation going to blob out, but I don't think they're going to be able to finish them off. Maybe they will though, as Efron now getting more aggressive as Sunrai has now respawned, because this conflict has been going on for such a long time, but it will be the end of it for now. It looks like both teams gonna head back with their low members to the base. Baron around the Vision probably gonna be contested again when folks make their way out here.
Yeah, once again, though, it's the important part that Conduit Esports picks up the Dragon, once again, delaying that Dragon Soul Timer to come through here. So it's another dub on top of another dub here for Conduit Esports Phoenix in this one. And we saw once again initially Sunrai just getting hooks out, and that's the big difference between when you pick a tank support and like an enchantress / mage support as the game progresses, where it's like you don't have that reliable engage threat that you would. Obviously Sunrai has a lot of damage, as we will see. It does half health, the enemy mid laner basically, but in most cases, except for whenever you're able to shoot shockwave too.
Multiple members going to be hit with that shockwave, doing so much damage right off the bat to these mage champions from Dorado and Efron. I mean, there's just nowhere for him to go. So much CC, as we've seen from Conduit Esports Phoenix. They have more than enough tools to get these fights started, and that does seem to be what has made a lot of the difference in both of these games for Conduit Esports, is their ability to start off these fights. Last game it was the Ornn, this time it is Nation, just everywhere on this Zach. Really nice play here. You know, really showing how you can carry with a tank champion, you know, just by propelling your team forward and enabling them in these fights.
Yeah, and like I was saying, that's basically the reason why the big difference between the tank jungler, tank supports, and the tank supports is Dabs outright kills 2-5. Oh wow, actually able to pick up a 1-for-1 there. Unfortunately, ended up dying in a side lane his own self, but since so many members went down towards the bot side, does mean tier 2 tower will be falling in the mid lane as well, as we do see multiple rotations happening here. But it's at Conduit Esports Phoenix. They're potentially looking for a top lane tower as well. They do have the Baron powered minion, but with Orianna basing, and the rest of Dorado Gaming probably getting back on the map. The Conduit Esports Phoenix will be resetting and getting back onto the map, but they have now officially blown the door open here for this game number 2, potentially cementing themselves as game point going into game number 3. And to remind the viewers, they lost the series in the regular season to Dorado Gaming side 2-1, so it was competitive, but they did end up dropping that series. Right now, they're looking to take the series that does matter the most, though, which is the finals of the APL, as they're looking to kind of pick up a game 2 victory here, and they have the gold lead for it. They have the split push threat as well with the Gwen, who has picked up a Jack show as well, making themselves even tankier in the side lane. Going to be almost impossible to deal with for just this Renekton alone. He will have to have multiple members go over towards him to really make sure that he can, safely protect himself in a side lane here. As we do see, push happening here for the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix, trying to use as much of that Baron buff as they possibly can to get as many structures as they possibly can. As you see, arrow landing onto Gabrielio. Nice shockwave.
Excuse me. Ooh, this cough. Yeah, Shockwave, that's going to get the job done here. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know, Orion. I mean, I guess my biggest reflection is just that Conduit Esports Phoenix has definitely managed to turn this game in their favor when it looked like it was Dorado, in charge. But I just think really Dorado's composition overall has a higher burden of execution. Just seems so easy to hit those Zac and Nautilus buttons, just and just jump onto the enemy team comp. But the Maokai button is also a button in this game, as Just Cooper is going to use that one, and Efron does a nice job of trapping them inside the wall with the Talia wall. But who is trapped? It seems like it was actually Dorado Gaming, as it's quickly 3 kills over to the side of Conduit Esports Phoenix. Sunrise, the next one to fall. The hook's gonna go right onto wide onto 2-5, but I am not sure how much a lonely Caitlyn can do against 5 members strong of Conduit Esports pushing up this bottom lane. They've got the Baron buff minions on their side. Gabrielio is also here to help, but this is a 6-death Crocodile. Certainly not where he wanted to be in this game, and we can see how strong OTF on this Orianna is, bursting out most of the Caitlyn's health bar with one combo, and it's going to be an emphatic end to this game from Conduit Esports Phoenix. They're going to go up 2-0 but give themselves the potential to sweep this finals against a Dorado Gaming team that they, on paper come in against as the underdog. So got to be feeling good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're putting yourself in a position where all you can do is win one more game, and you are the APL champions of the split, regardless of how the regular season went for you. Even though you did end up dropping that series, one more victory does mean you are the ultimate victors of the split. And I think, obviously, for the side of, I think we went into the stream talking about the APL All Stars. We got about, obviously, Efron and 2-5 being the 2 for Dorado Gaming side, and the other 3 were the top laner, the jungler, and the support. And really, in terms of the differences between the 5 first team All-Stars, it's definitely been Conduit Esports Phoenix, 3 All-Stars players that have been absolutely putting on a show in this series. We saw Game 1, Nation was going absolutely crazy. Game 2, it was, Dabs in the top side doing really well, especially with Not So Dark's engages with the Nautilus and the Hook, controlling those team fights. These guys are playing an absolutely incredible series and looking to kind of keep that momentum going into game 3. But if you're Dorado Gaming side here, you're definitely obviously you feel like you've been in this position before. I think we've seen many Dorado teams, I think just this year alone in Aegis, have multiple reverse sweeps happen. So looking to join the club, I guess I would say, and trying to make a reverse sweep of their own.
Yeah, and so we will see if that can occur. I think we might have a little bit of a change of faces when you come back. Who knows? We'll keep it a mystery for now. But when the stream comes back, it will be game 3. It will be Conduit Esports Phoenix chance to secure the APL title for themselves, or can Dorado pull off the amazing reverse sweep? The odds are against them, but the dogs are not. So when we come back, we'll see what happens.
Dark clouds move closer, but with the deepest red. Oh, beneath them we look on. When they part comes the hatred they bring. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their face. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until our last breath. So what is to be left for us? My people look on and say, don't fear what you don't know, 'cause we're far from certain fate. And we'll make our final stand. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their flame.
Welcome back, everyone, here to the game 3 of our APL finals. It is Flay, joined by Sultan here as Mr. Ryan and Elsa. It's a long night. I don't blame him. We're approaching midnight. It could be a 5-game banger here, and they're taking a night off, so me and Sultan are coming in to fill in. How are you doing today, Sultan?
CCS talent replacing CCS talent, you know.
Shut up. Alright, well, we obviously come in here in game 3. Dorado, I kind of consider the favorites coming into the series, already found themselves down 2-0 into game 3 here. Backs against the wall. I mean, this is an org that's reverse sweeped a lot in finals. This is an org that gets a lot of finals buff. Confidence has to be high for Dorado, but you know, look at these drafts here, Sultan. You see a Varus, J4, Orianna, or Khan Rumble. What are your thoughts here from the Dorado draft?
It is interesting. They are kind of changing their, I think, draft mentality from the previous games they were playing. Game 2, they went for the Maokai. They had the Lux. This game, they're going more in. Like, we want to engage. We want to get on the Aphelios. But because they picked the Orianna to pair up with Jarvan, they gave over the Talia that Efron played in Game 2 over to OTF. It can prove to be a really strong pick, especially when Jarvan and Rakan, they engage with dashes that are not really unstoppable, like some Malphite ultimate or anything. So they might struggle with that. I think the Rumble into Aatrox matchup can be good, but Rumble is, I think, forced to take Ignite in that matchup to really have a lead in the laning phase. That is going to be an interesting thing to look at. But I think I like what Dorado is going for, having a little bit more proactive gameplay in the team comp. They want their fates in their own hands rather than on the enemy team making a mistake. On the side of Conduit, I think it's more so comfort picks all around. They have the Vi to lock down the enemy Varus. Plus, with Rakan and Jarvan both looking to engage, it might be a little bit hard to peel this Varus, so I like that. And we will see if Dorado, in their comfort zone of being down 0-2, can come back.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you're Conduit here, right, you got the first two games here. You're feeling pretty confident, like you said. Let's not really try to do anything particularly crazy. Let's do what we know. Let's get game 3. The last thing you want is lose game 3 here. I mean, you know, we went over All-Stars today here. Unsurprising, Conduit and Dorado game where the first team was all around. But, you know, it's really actually be driven here by the carry play of both of Efron here, as well as 2-5 on the side of Dorado. Safe. Oh, it looks like we are about to start game. But yeah, 2 safe, just mistake-free carries for the most, or at least as mistake-free as you can get in the CeeLo, obviously. And that's pretty important. I mean, you see someone like Efron here. Rarely dies, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, leads the league's actually in the least deaths. Having that stable force here built upon on the Orianna here, the J4 combo. Expect some good things here side of Dorado here as they look to get an early advantage and maybe press in the game for victory. Now, following this game for your Sultan, what is your lane to watch here? Especially from the Dorado perspective, they kind of get the early advantage and potentially kind of snowball into the mid game.
More so will be, I think, around the junglers rather than a specific lane. We already see some fighting.
We already got some fighting here. Just Cooper trying to face down Vi. Looks like it's down here. Sorry, go on, Sultan.
They'll see where the Vi will be starting from, but it's mostly going to be around these junglers, mainly because both of these, like especially bot and mid lane, there's a lot of gang setup. Orianna after 6 more so, but both of these bot lanes with ganking junglers can make a lot of impact. So it is more so going to be how Nation and Cooper want to play around these lanes. They have the setup. They have just people that can help them kind of increase their effectiveness on the map. Objective fights are going to be interesting as well. A lot of good skirmishes on both sides. So I think not a specific lane, but both of these jungles, there's a lot of pressure on both, I think, this game.
Yeah, I mean, from a side of Conduit here, you know, kind of playing with the combo of the Aphelios, Alistar in the bot lane here. Do you think there's confidence and domination here? You know, kind of slowly, you know, scale up this game, get the Aphelios going, you know, potentially lead a late game victory. It looks like, at least from a Conduit here. Speaking of flash already used by domination here. Good job on Sunray to get the flash here. Flash down on domination. It's 5 minutes. And it's pretty huge here. We have a Jarvan here. Force early pressure of Varus. Better leading carry. Oh. And Efron also getting a lot of poker. There's a really aggressive play by Dorado, both the mid, top, and bot here. Getting a lot of early trades and also a flash.
And this will all circle back to Cooper. Your laners are grabbing the prio. We see in the top lane, mid lane, bot lane. Everybody has the prio, so he has the options. Especially with the flash being down from the Aphelios, it is probably going to be a really kind of an easy gank. He still has the ghost to maybe create some space for him, especially with the Alistar, but we'll see how that flash gets punished. More about what you said about scaling. I think on it, Varus obviously, like Varus is a champion that still dishes out good damage in late game, but I feel like compared to Aphelios, Mr. 200 years, once he gets 3 items, I feel like the amount of burst he can
Hold on real quick here, Sultan. Good try by OTF here. Iron's gonna go in crazy, but Sunray is coming up here. Sunray is up here. Talia is gonna be caught out. Yes, he is. Efron going crazy. Ignite pulled on D. Talia. Talia trying to run away here. You're on that top lane. Gabriel, he's getting a mate. Oh my goodness, 2 fights here both sides. As you're about to go on to Talia, who barely lives, and the side of Conduit goes on to the Rumble. Both solo laners live here. And you know, just getting the early pressure press on right here, knowing the fact we're strong. And what's up for 2-5 here? Looks like we are fine here. Sorry, go on, Sultan.
Interesting. The both of these solo laners after getting ganked were able to keep their flashes as well. We see Cooper kind of paying a visit to enemy jungle looking for the invade, and he is going to be coming behind Domination.
They had no flash though on that Aphelios. Sunray, he still has flashes up. Going on Domination here. Domination trying to kite back here. Here comes Zay for her. Walter for Zay for a flash here. Here comes Outside, pushes Dark away. The EQ combo goes in. Domination. Damage done. He should be dead. Yes. First blood on Just Cooper here. A kill for Messiah of Dorado. Great way to start this game.
It all comes back to the flash. Domination burning that flash from Sunrise engage at low 1, and Cooper is able to punish. Was a great buffer on the Alistar knockback.
Yes.
With the EQ as well, and they are able to grab the first blood.
Honestly, not so dark. Well played him, trying to push the J4 around, trying to turn around the gank, but this great EQ buffer. And honestly, it's as you stated earlier, the early pressure in the lanes allowed Cooper to make the ability to choose. He invades the bottom side of jungle here on the side of Conduit Esports. Flanks around him the bottom, catches Domination, no flash. You know, flash is there for Domination. He probably lives, doesn't get the flash. Great buffer, and again, just like you said, Just Cooper dictating the tempo of the game, and it helps when your lanes are ahead and creating pressure. And Dorado already have first blood and 1k advantage. Wait, hold on real quick here. Orianna, he should be caught at Efron, should be dead. Great flash by Efron. He should still be dead. Here's Not So Dark. Another flash comes by. Dead. Talia gets another kill. We're 1-1 in the game.
Great response coming from the side of Conduit. These roams from these supports to the mid lane have been really impactful. Initially, Sunrise at level 2, and now Not So Dark. A bit of a more successful gank with the kill going over to OTF. And we are at a more of an even state, but with the kill in mid lane, they will be able to grab the first dragon of the game, especially when you have the Aphelios potential late game threat. You want these early dragons so that even in the mid game you are behind or you don't want to fight, you do have that option to like, okay, let's give a few dragons until our Aphelios get stronger. And we can already see Domination grabbing the call, saying I'm going full in my late game. And on the other side of the map, Cooper's going to trade away the grubs.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you might. Oh, 1 second here for a trade here. Efron, OTF. Should be just nothing but trades. You're not all mana on the OTF, so I don't think you can do anything against the Orianna. But like you said, I mean, listen, if you're Conduit here, you're up 2-0. It's really on Dorado to do something here. You got Aphelios. You make that trade anytime, any day of the week here, right? You get your Aphelios scaled up, you're going to get free items. And you hope by Ferdy. Well, meanwhile, DXP, is he going to die here? Cooper, trying to do something new. Tower shot? No. I mean, OTF on that front. Again, nothing happened again. Dorado, aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. They know they have to take this game by storm, and they can't let this Aphelios ride it up. But look at the bot lane here, Sultan. It's already a 20 CS lead here for 2-5 on Domination.
Yeah. And it is going to be like that for a while, especially with various...
Wait, what's on here? Look at Vi.
Oh.
Vi's coming in here. 2-5. He should be fine. He does have flash.
Oh.
We just stopped Sunrise. Sunrise. He should be caught out here. Good damn it. Sunrise back in Domination. Sunrise gets away. And oh my goodness here from Dorado. What a play. You get the you get the flash and Sunrise here, but you are 100% going to take this here. And now, wait, meanwhile, Efron. Just a little trading of Nason. We should be fine here. And looks like this Scuttle could be potential factor. But again, Dragon's not up for free 30. So we'll see if maybe we get the skirmisher vision here. But yeah, I mean, really great job here. Sunray actually survives. And good position by 2-5 as well, allowing his Rakan to come back.
Yeah. And to be honest, while watching, I think it was Conduit last week of the OFAPL semifinals, they were against, I think, BDE. And that game as well, I think Nation has been a really good just early game jungler. Like he doesn't have a kill for himself, but he's been making his presence known in the mid lane, in the bot lane where they were able to burn Sunrise Flash. So it's nice to see that he's just like keeping the consistency from his semifinal series. And,
yeah, I mean, sorry, go on.
Oh, and I was gonna say, like, especially with Dorado's backs against the wall, just putting that early game pressure, not like letting the first blood get to you, and just like keeping the game plan going is like just really great to see from them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dorado here, you're kind of pretty happy what's going on here. You know, generally speaking, you tend to win because your early lanes. I mean, 2-5 and Gabriel Leo have the 2 highest goal difference at 15 minutes of any players of the league. You see right now, only have 4 and 6 CS here, but you expect that to go up as these waves come in through here. And I mean, I think if you're Dorado, yes, it's only a 400 goal advantage. That Dragon getting lost this hurt, but you know, generally speaking, you're pretty happy with performance. And you know, I'm sure Sultan, you're pretty experienced as I am with Anderson Cooper, and a guy who's been here for I feel like almost 6 years in the scene, if not longer. Especially in this ELO. You really don't want any other jungler besides Anderson Cooper or Gold here. Someone who's been here in many teams, many situations, and kind of that stabilizing factor you need for a reverse sweep. But hold on here, Efron. Potential gank here via Alistar and Vi are there. Nope.
I like what OTF was going for there, though. He aimed the knockback towards his teammates as well. Oh, Nation.
Oh, Efron does not have flash here. Oh, here comes the ulti of Vi. All in Vi. Go back up. Orianna.
Oh my.
Beat that here. Here comes Cooper, though. Orianna. Oh, when the dance comes in. Oh, huge Orianna ulti. Gets 2. Anderson Cooper. OTF flashes away. Anderson Cooper flashes as well. It's a 2 for 2. Not so dark. He's trying to get away here for just Cooper. Just Cooper's return sign. Not dark. Can you answer? Good combo by the Alistar here. Just Cooper knocks him back. Cooper could be dead. One more tower shot. Yes. What a fight here. We had a 2-2 result here in the end. Just absolute chaos.
Yeah, absolute chaos. It could have been worse for Dorado. Efron, that shockwave kind of just saved it.
That was a huge shockwave.
Last second. Yeah, like 3-man does a lot of damage. But not so dark. Like he was gonna go down regardless, and he was able to take Cooper with him. Now the next dragon is going to be up in 40 seconds, and Cooper doesn't have this flash ult. Efron doesn't have his own ultimate, so this next dragon fight is going to be kind of hard for Dorado to fight, because again, like we were talking about, like this team comp works off their engage. When you don't have the flashes, you don't have the ults, the team fights get infinitely harder.
For sure. And I mean, if you're Dorado, one of the last things you want here, though, is yes, you got a 1.5k gold lead here. Momentum's on your side, but Aphelios is a ticking time bomb almost here. Domination, he's doing fine. Oh, only yes, he's down 20 CS here, but you know, if you get these dragons for Dorado, you should be fine here. But it looks like they just have complete position of his dragon side here. I don't think the side of Conduit can actually contest this. The vision and the placement of Dorado, they should be actually Infernal Drake on the side of Dorado gaming side.
Yeah. So dark. He's still level 5. Not having the ultimate is obviously not
Huge.
an optimal scenario.
Yes.
Like the Alistar's probably the biggest plus that he brings into a team that, as a support, he tanks a lot. Like support tanks, we know they can get tanky with the aftershock, but Alistar is a little bit on the beefier side. Oh.
Here's the shockwave on Talia. Talia could be caught out here. Here comes Efron. Still trying to chase OTF. OTF caught by Sunray. No, Sunray has to use the ult here. Efron trying to get the kill here. 1 auto away. That should be a kill on the mid laner. Yes. Efron with his 2nd kill of the game here. That's really well played here. Again, you mentioned earlier, the supports are roaming mid lane. Understand the priority. And for Efron, very impressed here actually so far. Wait, Nason on Anderson Cooper here. But it is a 3v1. Nason has to get out here. Trying to get in. Nason trying to run away. Divide trying to get out here. EQ gone the... he gets the ult. Yeah, Nason flashes away. Good flash here by Levi. Me on the bot line here. 2-5 versus Not So Dark. Nope, just gonna back away here. But yeah, I'm really impressed with Efron's here in this position. And again, Dorado being aggressive, trying to punish here. Sunray coming up again and getting another kill here in the mid lane.
Could have been a second one if Cooper was able to like stop Nation's Q there, but he was able to get away barely with any HP and also had to burn his flash as well. So again, this game has been interestingly good in a sense that both teams are really efficiently punishing these flash timers. You don't really see that sometimes in low elo leagues. Yeah. So it is always nice to see.
Fight here, top lane here. Aatrox ulti comes out here. He's on Gabriel. Good flash from Gabriel. It's a lot of damage here. He should be dead here. The ult comes to Rumble. Tries to flash away. Rumble, he's on the ulti. Aatrox, he's gonna get him. That's a kill on the side of Kondo here. That's kind of what he needed to pick up the momentum here. I feel like they've lost a little momentum in mid lane, and you get a kill here in top lane. So
2-5. Stop this beat wall.
Oh no.
Hex
Flash comes in. Alistar gets a combo off. Domination going in. The ulti revive. It's gonna get Varus. Varus, what can he do? Sunray, he gets a stop. It's not gonna happen here. Domination, huge ulti on the Aphelios. Damage comes in. It's a 1 kill. Varus is dead. Kill does go. I think it went on Alistar. Is that correct?
No, I think it went on Vi.
Vi? Okay.
That's what Dark was already on 2 kills, yeah.
Okay. Either way, not kind of unfortunate for Domination to get that kill, but you still take that with a Varus kill. Meanwhile, Gabriel, I think you should kill DBX here. You should be dead. DBX trying to run away here. Trying to burn away. Oh, he's gonna dive. Nope.
Oh, no.
Nope, doesn't get it. So Aatrox does live.
Yeah. Like, I think this was something that I mentioned in the while we were talking about the draft. I feel like the Rumble has to go Ignite in this lane. Like, Aatrox is already like pretty hard champion to kill because of his like just sustain from champion. So when you don't have the Ignite, do not have any heal cut, when he pops the ulti, unless you're like light years ahead, it's just going to be really hard to go toe to toe with him, even if you're a Rumble. So
for sure, as you said here, if you're on the side of Dorado, I mean, you look at Conduit Esports, you know, the Alistar ulti and the Aatrox ulti, that's their front line, right? That's what they need to survive here. And I mean, if you can put the Aatrox behind, then we're really just looking at the Alistar here, and it's just like, can Alistar really think that much? I mean, maybe, I don't know, but you know, really, if you're side of Dorado here, maybe a more aggressive play in a Rumble, especially with the way your lanes have been playing and kind of a style you've been trying to get. I feel like Rumble could have gotten away with more aggressive. So I kind of agree yourself with the Ignite pick over with TP.
Yeah, and to be honest, I just wanted to, I guess, talk about something else. It's like you mentioned Cooper being in this scene for a long time.
Yeah,
I remember, like, I think it was like 4 years ago. I was playing against this guy, and and I think back then he was one of the best junglers, and he's still it was in gold, so now it's flat. But
well, yeah, same thing for being honest.
Yeah, like with the elo inflation, I guess. But like he's still on this. You know, some people they will just be like, oh, I don't really care. I'll just play on whatever team. He's consistently on these like rosters that are like making championship runs in the finals. So, and
this dude's been doing it forever. I mean, I remember playing against this guy. That's how long it's been. I remember playing against a lot of times this guy actually. He was, listen, he's been doing it since like 2018, and here we are in 2024, and he's still doing it. Same elo too. I mean, he's just the course stock here. Watch out here for Vi, trying to get Efron. Here comes. Oh my God, Efron! What a flash! Efron! This could be Efron's legacy game here, I'm not gonna lie. It's another great play in the outplay. I mean, I feel like, honestly, if Efron didn't play that one shockwave fight and that one flash, it would have been a completely different side for Dorado. You wouldn't have that 1k lead. Talia. Gabriel should be dead here. Talia won him off. Gabriel, what are you gonna do here? You are caught out here, trying to juke away, trying to go into the Rumble. He's not gonna hit anyone. Oh no, Gabriel, Vertone for food. Killing Talia here. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm very impressed with Efron so far, and he's kind of more or less either one turn around that 1 mid lane gank, and this one's just honestly a phenomenal flash.
And to be honest, like Efron has been kind of the, I guess, a backbone of this team.
Yes.
It's just like sometimes your carries, the people that you rely on, there's always this like consistency issue.
Yes.
And I think about consistency, I guess.
Wait, what's out here? Alistar's trying to go in the fight here. We still have Aphelios on the side here. Mio, J4, he's kind of caught in Narnia right now. Just Cooper trying to find the backline. He's caught in Narnia, trying to run away. Also away, gets a flash away. He's gonna live actually. Somehow Domination is not the damage so far. Only one item on this Aphelios. Damage is not there, but I feel like Conduit gets his dragon. Dorado, no shockwave, no cataclysm. Half HP on their teams, yet they're still trying to contest this.
Gabriel Leo is really far away with no TP. Sunrise on the flank though.
Yeah, look at Rakan. Rakan does have ulti. Domination does have flash though, but I don't know if the damage is there.
Yeah, no ulti on the Aatrox.
Alistar trying to go in here. He's pretty weak. Here comes Thunder as well. The fight's gonna move here. Alpha, I feel he's trying to hit in the backline here. Meanwhile, it's completely chaos right now. Alistar, he could be dead here. So is Nason. The entire front line of Conduit is completely dead. Gabriel Leo on the side here. Oh my. God. And Dorado just completely survived here, even though no HP. The entire front line of Conduit Esports just collapse.
Yeah.
And you get.
weird fight. Like Dark tried to turn the fight when he realized that Dorado was going to commit to the play, but it just took so much time for like Conduit to leave because of like Sunrise pressure that he was providing in the flank. Gabriel Leo, who died in top lane, no TP, was able to come back and pick up a double kill for himself. 2-5 was also like just left alone basically until the last part of the fight where Nation was trying to ult onto him with basically no HP left on himself. So the fight goes in Dorado's way. This is what they want. They lose the dragon again. It is still like Conduit is basically buying time with these dragons for their Aphelios, but yeah, getting the gold lead bigger, just increasing their lead obviously for Dorado. That's what you want to see. They just need to not drop their tempo. Like a few kills on the side lane that they're going to give, it's just going to slow down the game, and that's just not what you want with this team comp, especially with a Chemtech soul on the map. If you lose like another dragon fight for Dorado, it can go really south, especially with the champions on the enemy team. Normally Chemtech soul isn't like the most feared one, but with an Aatrox, with a Vi, with an Alistar, especially below 50% HP, that's like where these champions kind of shine. So they need to be careful with their fights later into the game.
Yeah, when I was watching that fight, it almost seemed like kind of want to do two different things. Not so Dark goes there, I guess, acknowledging the fact that how low some of Dorado was, but it didn't seem like OTF and Domination were ready for it. I mean, right now mid tower is about to go inside Dorado here too, and you know, these are the fights. You got the dragon for free, you got Shockwave, you got Cataclysm. I understand maybe the tendency, but I feel like you just take the win there and get out.
We get another charge from the Herald.
Yeah, and Dorado, good pressure, getting the mid tower. Opens it up here now. Mid tower still on the side of Dorado, not as high Conduit. Should open up the jungle here more. And with a 2k gold league here and tempo coming in Dorado, this may be what they need in the mid game here. You know, this Varus, he only has one item so far, but I think he's about to back with some gold. I wonder where his gold is right now, actually.
He should be, yeah, 1k.
Yeah.
Not that far ahead, especially.
No. Oh, watch out here. Chandra, good big flash comes in. I think he should be fine.
Yeah, another flash, and to be honest, like Domination has been doing a really good job just catching back up in CS. During the laning phase, he was behind, I think, close to 20-30 CS.
Yes.
Now he's even. Probably 2-5 is going to have a small lead, but at this point in the game, it doesn't matter too much. And Domination had the call too, so he actually has created himself like a kind of a small gold lead, 200 gold, 300 gold, or something. I don't remember. I'm a jungler. I don't buy calls, so.
I mean, probably like 300 gold difference. I mean, you have more or less the same CS, no kills on either side. The items are pretty much almost identical in gold. Not great for Dorado considering the lead they had. Remember, they got Domination's flash like 2 minutes in the game. Oh man, their Varus is pretty much even. Not what you want here, because Domination's an outscale.
Yeah, and also like I think Gabriel Leo just not having the biggest lead. Yes, he's 2-2. His laner doesn't have any kills, but those 2 kills have came from the recent fight and on the dragon. He hasn't in his semi-final series. Like some of these games might have been some of the most like impressive ones that I've seen. Like he was dropping 18 kills on Rumble, 15 kills on Aatrox. So a little bit of a, I guess, a slow game for him, for Gabriel Leo's standard, but him being able to pick up those 2 kills, maybe it kind of amplifies his presence in these team fights that we're going to see in 20 seconds for the Dragon. This is probably going to be kind of a break the game scenario for Dorado, because you either get this.
Oh, watch out here. Fight comes in. 2-5. He's trying to free here inside. 2-5's gonna be caught out here. Trying to get 2-5. He's still coming. He should be good here. Not so Dark in the front line here. They're gonna kite back away. Not so Dark gets caught out here by Sunray. Not so Dark should be dead here. Rumble ulti comes in here. OTF, look at the side here. OTF trying to do some damage. Rumble is finally gets the kill. No, it's actually Varus who gets the kill on the outside here. 2-5 trying to go aggressive here in OTF. And it should be a Dragon to Dorado here. Unless they're gonna contest here. I mean, yeah, I guess we do have ultis on the side here. I don't think we're gonna contest though. This should be a Dorado Dragon, but Nason's still looking though.
Yeah, the DXBS is in the base.
Domination's coming actually.
Yeah,
this could be a fight. Oh, here comes Aatrox trying to get out Sunray. Sunray trying to get out here. Just Cooper could he be caught out here? Here comes Nason trying to get Sun Cooper. I mean, Just Cooper's trying to go in. Domination free hit in the backline. Shockwave comes in, only one person though. Aatrox trying to take up everything. Aatrox ulti, not actually. Philly's ulti comes in. DBS tries to live. And Dorado kills no one here. Aatrox barely survives. Vi barely survives. They do get a kill on Cooper though. Oh wait.
They need to be careful. They don't
Wait,
have
Efron. Efron's gonna get ult by Valky. Vi. Varus is free hitting though. Vi's gonna live there, not enough damage. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Varus in the backline here. Here comes Gabriel trying to do damage Rambo. He should be a wipe though. Another kill on the Varus. Domination with his first kill of the game.
Yeah.
And that is just not respecting the fact they could go back in. No Cooper. I guess Dorado tried to clear wards and they just lose Dragon and honestly lose momentum here, to be honest.
Such a dragged out fight. Like, you engage initially before the dragon spawns. You get not so dark, but you just drag out the fight for so long that like not so dark respawns. The XPS is able to reset, get a TP off, and the ultimates weren't really that useful. Cooper's initial Cataclysm at the beginning of like the fight before dragon spawned, it hit nobody.
Yes.
And then Efron's Shockwave, it's only on one person who's a frontliner. The Equalizer was, I think, was thrown inside the bot lane wall, so it wasn't really hitting anyone either. But like with a team comp like this, you cannot afford to misuse your ultimate. As soon as you do that, like most of your damage is basically gone. Especially
I mean,
for Efron.
The worst part is, as you mentioned, all the damage they did was on Aatrox during his ulti. More or less tanked everything. And you just have domination, completely free hitting. OTF, kind of completely free hitting. The Vi, who actually goes aggressively in on Efron here, gets away with it. There's not enough damage on the Varus. I mean, we really just have Bork. That's all we have.
Oh.
It's just
and, like. Go ahead.
No, it just I feel like you just have Dorado here. Just you still have 800 gold league, but your next dragon's gonna be Soul. And it honestly feels like Aphelios is starting to do some damage right now. He's getting close.
He probably is going to have IE on his next spec as well. And like we were talking about it, if you don't have the dragons on your side for the side of Dorado, it's going to get really hard because it like for your Efron.
Oh, Efron should be caught out here. No flash unless you do some crazy fancy feat. He get caught up here by the Talia. He's going to be caught up with the Alistar as well. Efron should be dead here. Shockwave is a good Shockwave, but it's not enough here. Gabriel is trying to come in. Just Cooper's going to come in here. Is ever going to do anything? Cataclysm, just Cooper. Go in with Mueller. Going to turn around with Aatrox. Cooper, I think he should be actually be dead here. Cooper is dead as a double kill on the Aatrox there. And all of a sudden, they just, I guess they were trying to go for something. They had Rumble ulti. They had Cataclysm. They never pulled the trigger, I guess. And Cooper just dies, and this could be Baron, to be honest.
Yeah, jungler's dead, mid laner's dead, no TP. TP might be back up by the time of response, but that's going to be in 20 seconds. They can maybe look for an answer play, but it's just going to even be more risky for the side of Dorado. Maybe Gabriel Leo looks to drop a Equalizer, but that should be it.
It's dead here. I don't even know why they're contesting this. Sunray right. Caught out here for no reason. Here comes Equalizer trying to go in here, trying to 2v5, I guess? I don't know what the plan is here. Sunray just dies. What's going on, Sultan?
Maybe the pressure's getting to them at this point. They are... The bells are ringing. They feel like they need to do something because, again, you gave over 3 dragons. If Aphelios is scaling, the enemy team is going to be on Soul Point, and if Conduit is able to grab that last dragon, you're just going to be under a lot of, like, you're just going to be in a big trouble for the side of Dorado. Like, you're already somewhat struggling to provide enough damage in these fights. It is even going to be harder when the enemy team takes 10% less damage when they're below 50. Their champions are like Vi with Sundered Sky. She heals a lot. Alistar reduces a lot of damage himself. And Aatrox with the Spirit Visage definitely is going to heal a lot. And
Just Cooper trying to go. 1 second yourself. Just Cooper trying to go to Alistar. Nope, just unpoke here. And 1 second here. Vi, gonna get Gabriel. Combo? No. Oh. Here comes Talia. Actually not going to commit to Gabriel. I'm kind of surprised here. Wait, Dason still going in. Trying to look for a fight here. Hope he's going to pull out of here. So it looks like nothing happens. But on the bot side, we got Baron. Baron power minions. Dragon's up in 112. And it's not really looking good for Dorado here. And I think you mentioned this earlier. You expected a, Rumble ulti. And I was kind of surprised. I mean, you have Sunray and Rumble just hanging outside the Baron pit. It's kind of, I guess, watching. You expect at least a steal attempt. And instead they try to 2v5. Weirdly enough.
It's not even like really a steal. Just make it. Just create some chaos.
Oh, what? Just Cooper? Well, I guess it works out here. Cooper's trying to go in. Cooper, you're trying to call out no man here. Not sure Dark. He's got a lot of damage. He's trying to catch up Cooper. Cooper should be dead here. Cataclysm comes out. It's not going to happen. Here comes Nason on Efron. Efron, not a lot of damage here. Not so Dark. Trying to survive. Here comes Zedner. Cyrus gonna make, but meanwhile, I feel he's completely untouchable. Huge damage right now. Blows up Cooper. The Aphelios damage is finally here. Rumble will take us just to clear of a wave, but 2-5 has to back. Efron has to back. Sunner has to back. This could be 2 towers. 3 towers. Actually, 3 towers potentially if. No. Wait, Gabrielio. Damage. No. Aatrox. I think you just have to give this up, to be honest, but they're trying to contest this. Here comes 2-5. 2-5 does not have ulti.
Yeah, not really enough damage. I mean, I'm surprised that he threw the equalizer for wave clear, especially when minions are Baron buffed. They take less damage from AP, so that doesn't really provide anything. And with your jungler just coming out of base, this is just going to be Soul going over to Conduit, and it's just so hard at this point for the side of Dorado to really take a fight. Like the enemy team has more sustain, they're tankier, their DPS is better. The only thing that you have going is burst, which the enemy team got a soul that really mitigates a lot of the burst. So
I mean, I guess you just
hope. It has to be like
a
hero outplay at this point.
Well, I mean, you just hope Shockwave, a bunch of Shockwave delivery systems, right? Maybe you catch up Domination as Shockwave. You know, do they have enough damage of Domination until you die? Maybe.
Last fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't even matter. I just feel like if you're Dorado right now, you're hoping for a quick burst on the 2 carries, and then just to beat up the other. It's so difficult right now. Not Gold Lead they had, Sultan. They're down 4K now, and a soul. And as you mentioned, their bot lane's completely outpowered now. Outscaled, excuse me.
That whole Baron sequence, just Efron getting caught on the side, and then Cooper jumping in with none of his teammates around. Like this Jarvan, at this point, you're just a delivery mission. Like you're just delivering Orianna Bolt to the back lines, and you don't do much more because like you maybe lock people up for.
Oh, watch out, Sunray could be caught out here. Sunray, stance here, not so dark, but as you said, yeah, like Cooper's just too squishy right now. He's pretty much just a flopster. Wait, Cooper, you're gonna go in here. Cooper, I think he's caught a no man's land though. Damage is gonna be Nason. He's gonna be caught on a good Cataclysm though. But Nason gets involved on Bears. Meanwhile, on the backline, Felix is completely untouched. He's just dishing damage left and right. Here comes Sunray's ult. He's just way too late, unfortunately. The blasting comes in here, goes into Efron. Efron not good for blasting here. And all of a sudden, 2 dead, only Vi. I think you're feeling really good for Conduit. This could be game, to be honest, Sultan.
Yeah.
Oh, Efron. Oh no, he does that flash. He should be fine here.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Gabrielio, he keeps overheating before like going into the fight, and like these equalizers are either really late or just misplaced. So like Rumble, although he's like, I would say pretty strong, like he's not that far behind considering they gave a Baron and a soul to the enemy team. He still has his 2 items, almost at 3 items. A good placed equalizer can change the whole fight because of like you just close, like especially in that like where they were fighting, you're just fighting a corridor. That's probably like best case scenario for the Rumble, but just overheating inside the fight and then not being able to put your ultimate out there, it just gives a lot of space to Domination. And with IE Kraken almost having the Bloodthirster, he just, when you give him the space, he is just going to kill your whole team. And again, like we talked about this, Rakan is not as tanky as Alistar. Jarvan can be tankier than Vi, but with the amount of shields he gets, with the Chemtech Soul, the Nation is also able to slow for a really long time.
Watch out here, Gabrielio is probably just dead here, actually. 1 level behind Aatrox. Aatrox ulti come in here. So much damage coming out from his Aatrox. Oh, here comes the ulti. Oh, it's just not even close. I don't even know why he even used the equalizer, to be honest. Just kind of a waste.
He is full HP. Yeah.
Now, Sultan, I don't know if you've noticed this in the last couple of fights. Domination, I feel like he's taken actually 0 damage like the last three team fights, maybe 4. He's just been free hitting the entire team fights. And it's just like, you would think, right, with Orianna, with Jarvan, even just with Rumble, like you mentioned, 1 good equalizer at least forces Aphelios to reposition, and just hasn't happened.
Well, this is where I think the draft comes in a little bit into power, especially with
Oh, they're going on Aatrox here. One card. Salt. Here comes this. Yeah. Here comes the ulti by Rakan here, trying to get Aatrox here. Aatrox trying to fight against free people. I don't think he's gonna do it here. Cataclysm comes out as well. He saw a lot of damage, but there's no ulti. 2-5. Oh my god, he's just right. EQ comes in by Jarvan here. Oh my god, that healing, that shield. But he still can't bring the Raid Boss. He just can't bring him down. D-Boss, he's trying to go on 2-5. He's trying to cut away. Finally gets him. Meanwhile, other side here, actually, Efra getting caught out by Nascent. Shockwave comes in on only one person, buy some time here. And all that Shockwave does is maybe survive Ephraim, but yes, you kill Aatrox. Instead, you just lose 2 inhibs and 2 towers.
Yeah, their base is in shambles. The Baron buff is still going on, and you just burned everything. You burned all of your team fight. Like, front flash, the equalizer's down, Cataclysm is down.
Just Cooper trying to go for a play here, trying to get Nason by. He's gonna be caught out here. Good job here by Sunray. Trying to get nice. Here comes Rumble. Good armor ulti actually on the side here, but OTF and Domination again untouched. The damage is there. Not so dark. Trying to survive. His outs are so tanky. They just can't bring him down. Here comes Just Cooper, but again Domination untouched. So much damage by Viafilios, just burning through here. Domination. That's a kill for him. And there's. I mean, it's just completely over here. They're going to push for game here. Dorado's going to try to back. It just doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Conduit Esports Phoenix here. They will be, unless, don't joke now. This should be your game.
And Nexus comeback would be crazy.
Would be I don't think it's gonna happen though. Here it comes. They're gonna go on to Sunray. Sunray's ulti trying to get free. He gets free. People doesn't matter. Completely explodes. There's going for Nexus. Conduit Esports Phoenix, your APL Winter 2024 champions with a clean sweep of Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, not a reverse sweep this time around for Dorado.
No.
And to be honest, game 2, game 2 and 3 basically kind of the same story. It's like the first 20 minutes, the game is close. Dorado has like maybe a small lead, but then it all goes south afterwards. It's just, I feel like Conduit has been really good with their like mid to late game team fights, knowing where they're strong at, and like just playing towards their win cons. And I think it shows in their gameplay as well. Like they were able to. Dorado did a good job of like punishing Flash, like doing some proactive plays. But Conduit was like, we can do that as well, but better. So, but what can we say other than congratulations? Like 2 of the best teams, and Conduit just showed, yeah, we're a little bit better.
Yeah, and besides that one team fight and Dragon there, question, I think Conduit played this pretty well, to be honest. Yeah, they had the early pressure on him, but never felt like the game got away with them. They're always trying really hard, and just, they played the team fights better. And I guess the question is, maybe if we had a better, Rumble still did 24,000 damage, and that's with, honestly, multiple missed Rumble ultis. Still did the most damage on Dorado. Efron had a couple good shockwaves, 22,000 damage. I mean, it's just on the side of Conduit, played it really well. Played the fights good, and it just always felt like the side of Dorado, with Sunray, with Just Cooper, the rest of the squad was just not on the same page when they're going in. And just credit to the Conduit Esports, a clever clean sweep. I want to say, every single finals in Aegis has been a sweep this year.
You would know that better than me.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's true, because I'm gonna just double check here before I get the air. I'm pretty sure that is correct here. You on playoffs for AEL here, our first finals. Thank you. AEL 3-0 for Supernova, and then ADL 3-0 for Mint, if I recall correctly, unless I'm going crazy here, and 3-0 for Conduit Esports and Dorado. So, I mean, I don't know what that says about Aegis' league. I don't know what it says about me, to be honest. Wait, nothing but sweeps in the finals.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Sultan, any final words for you as we get off on this long night, which, by the way, it's midnight, and it's only 3-0. Thank God it's not a 5-game series. Oh my God, we would have been here since Tillery till tomorrow.
It was a great series. Before we close, just so that I guess push out some more content, I will give my MVP I'll give it to Domination, to be honest. I think it's just like he died once that whole game, and that was just like that early game flash that he had to burn. Then like afterwards, he didn't get caught. He dished out as much damage as possible. Did really great. Game 2. He was on the Ashe, did get a good performance. Game 1, he was on the Aphelios again, and like he was just performing, I think, all around the whole series. Obviously, when you get a clean sweep, the whole team probably is just playing good. I'll just give it to the ADC,
But I think it says a lot with just Sultan, the fact that they came in this game for a year, series on the line. Who are we giving the keys to the city? of a closer. We're giving it to AD carry, right? We're giving him Aphelios. We're giving him a Tina player on Aphelios. We're acknowledging, hey, it's gonna be rough in the beginning. We're gonna do what we can. And I mean, listen, this Aphelios, I mean, you can say maybe some issue on Dorado, but at the end of the day, we watched those team fights, Dalton. Most of the time, this man was free hitting. He was free hitting, he was doing damage, and he was coming online. And I mean, yes, he only did 22k damage, not as much as Vidalite Turlia, but it's only a 30-minute game. If this game goes 10 more minutes, I would be easily the highest played damage of the year. So congratulations to Domination, our finals MVP. Congratulations to Conduit Esports Phoenix, our APL 2024 Winter Champions. And I'm sure, as you saw here, we had our All-Stars here. I'll repeat them one more time so everyone aware who our All-Stars are before we get off the way here. On the first team, we have Stubby for Conduit Esports Phoenix, Ason for Conduit Esports Phoenix, Efron for Dorado Gaming Sai, 2-5 for Dorado Gaming Sai, and Not So Dark for Conduit Esports Phoenix. Second team, Gabriel Leo for Dorado Gaming, Just Cooper for Dorado Gaming, OTF, we just saw for Conduit Esports, Domination, we just saw for Conduit Esports, and Sunray for Dorado Gaming. And finally, our third team, Walk Warlock for Big Duck Entourage, Batman for SG Inferno, Sox Defies for again Big Duck Entourage, Grim Defier for Little Monkeys Gold, and Ghost for Big Duck Entourage. We'll have updated graphics. Unfortunately, I gave Mr. PBS not enough time to actually do the graphics. That's all me. We'll have updated graphics to post on the APL channel, which we'll post on just like the other leagues. But thank you for having a great split. I can't wait to see you guys next split. And with that, a great night to everyone, and hope you enjoy the rest of your spring.
You pulling me inside of darkness, darkness, rain, rain falling.